Already.
Right
out of the gate.
Hats today. He's the Mighty Tanaka, and he's also Mr. Producer. And so he's learning the buttons. That was great.
You learning the ropes live.
Yeah, there was a second there where I was like, wait, what am I doing? And I was like, oh my God, I never hit the go live button. And that's why I just kind of jumped into it. So everybody who's viewing right now, I'm so sorry if things got a little twisted there.
It was good.
We're not going to rag you on you through the whole show.
It was good. Hello. One love. Hey, thanks. Welcome,
yo. Welcome, everybody. Yeah. Welcome back to Clutter Live. This is episode
13.
Holy shit.
Unlucky for some, but definitely lucky for us.
I'm lucky for Cezard.
Yeah, exactly. It's Cezard. This is the one we should have interviewed Cezard. Why are we thinking about these things like a step afterwards?
We can do it on the 113th episode.
That would be way too far in the future.
We'll all just be like, fuck this.
That would be really old. Really old.
Wow.
Michael Gray.
Those toys, right? Wow.
Yeah.
Toys are great. I love toys.
How are you, Cezard? What have you been up to this week?
I'm all right. I've been, what have I been doing? I've been working on my own little sculpture, to be honest. Like, I've got a little beardy figure and he's got his hands out. And it's just been for me, really. It's been quite nice. A little bit of I printed it out. Yeah, I did it all on ZBrush. I printed like a master out. But it was a nice exercise on, like making a whole face and making the skull and making, the cheeks and the cranium bit to look humanish, a bit cartoony. But it's interesting, man. Getting real joints going and I'm really enjoying getting the like the wrinkles in the clothes and stuff. Do you know what I mean? So it was a really nice little exercise of what you can do. Do you know what I mean? And it was fun doing it, and he came out rad. So I'm just working on that, really.
That's awesome.
Nice. It's looking good.
Are you happy with the
cool.
print?
You what?
You happy with the print when it came out? Or is there anything you want to change about it?
No, it's fine. I'm just thinking his hands are free to put stuff in. Do you know what I mean? So see what happens. Yeah.
Awesome.
Is it a self-portrait?
Kind of, yeah. Yeah, in a way. It's not really me, so it's quite adaptable if someone wanted to get one, do you know what I mean? But yeah.
So it's not like the CZ that you are or the CZ that you want to be. It's a different.
I called it like grant me because it's like I don't know, man. Life's a bit tough, isn't it? Sometimes, you know what I mean? And it's just that fucking come on, man. What the fuck, like. So
I felt like that today.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that sometimes, isn't it? So I don't know. Yeah. You
wake up and someone's
like, ah!
Yeah, he's just like, what's wrong with people? Hello, everybody. Hello.
You can see in my eyes, I feel you. I know what you're talking about.
And then I'm working on more colorways of the old toy soldier with the airbrush on the back.
I love that one.
That's right.
They'll be coming out in the next couple of weeks.
What's the new colorway?
I think I'm going to go pink. It's just my thing, isn't it? The first one was blue. I'll do a pink and a blue and then see what happens. So
yeah, man.
That's it. That works. And then after that, I'm working on another bauble type cambot. I think last year I did the two little silhouette cambots in the snow. But I think I'm going to use the Blessbot body this time with a globe on its head, and inside there's going to be a rocky outlet going to another Blessbot on the top. So it's going to be like a nice inner piece sort of piece, So.
That sounds rad.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And on another note,
you're gonna ask how else his balls are?
Yeah, how are your nuts?
So, all right, so fucking first
we should have like an Alex nut update.
Yeah. All right. I mean, shit's healed up, but I need to issue an apology because I didn't realize my mom was watching last week's segment. We learned so much about my testicles that I never wanted her to know. So, Mom, I'm so sorry because I know she's watching tonight. So, Debbie, I'm so sorry about the situation. So, but hopefully she weighs into the comments. I was telling her, jump in there because she was telling me we were talking about castration and eating balls and stuff. She was like, oh yeah, out here in the West, because she's living in Albuquerque, New Mexico. So they're saying that they eat, not her, but people choose to eat balls, fucking cow balls, And it's called what, Rocky Mountain oysters. It's like a real dish.
Yeah.
And so like, yeah, you can get them like sauteed up, fucking eat a testy, like.
No, there's no joke that like there's videos where the guys literally are like castrating bulls and then frying them up. Just
I know it from like I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, where they make them eat weird stuff, and one of the things that they always make them eat is like balls or somebody's balls.
The thing that really freaked me out in the videos that I did not know was that inside of the skin sac of the testicle, the balls are bright white like snow.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I know
everybody,
or just Get Me Out of Here.
She knows that from the time that she fucking somebody who crossed her.
No, that's only danger.
White as snow.
Oh my god,
ice cold.
Because like, yeah, I mean, I thought everybody was pink on the inside, but I guess some people like.
Balls are bright white. Bright white.
Wow.
Totally freaked out if something bright white was like sticking out of my body.
Oh my god. Yo, so the other thing that I've discovered too from this fucking recent like snip of the balls has been I only want to wear sweatpants now. Like I started wearing sweatpants because it was like, you know, good around the fucking the testes, and now I'm like only wearing sweatpants. I'm like, and I'm not talking like I'm wearing like the stylish ones, not like fucking like Gray Champion. You know, I'm fucking going with something maybe like a male yoga pant, but it's so comfortable. Like
I just like Walmart.
Yeah. Are you gonna be that dude that goes to Walmart in his pajamas?
I don't know. These aren't really pajamas though. These are like an athletic man. I'm an athletic man.
You're an athletic man.
Look at me, like fucking fitness.
When I think of you, fitness isn't the first word that comes to mind. Not that there's, not that you're not strong and,
strong with the mind,
Yeah, but like fitness isn't like my like top 3 adjectives.
I'll do a jumping jack. Don't fucking watch me. Not right now, though, people. Like, we're not gonna do it right now.
Drag your balls open.
And also, you would just knock down everything that's in the case next to you, and it's on my.
Oh my god!
It would be a disaster.
Can you imagine? You could probably go through the floor because the floor back there is like not sturdy.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I don't want that. I don't want that at all.
Yeah, all right, I'm gonna steer us back on course because we keep going down the castration route every episode.
I had one other thing.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
All right.
I was wondering if there was any Coolio updates.
Coolio's dead.
I know.
So there's no update.
They said that he died of a heart attack.
Yeah.
I looked it up. That was
it. Okay. Josh, tell me about.
So it wasn't your fault, Alex. Is the long and short of it?
No, but it was natural causes, so that could be you, like a butterfly flapping its wings.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. Wow. Fucking, I stepped off that fucking bridge.
Yeah.
I have been watching far too many murder documentaries while painting, and I didn't know that Ted Bundy had a kid while he was on death row.
How did he make through like a conjugal visit?
He got married while he was on trial. He proposed to the witness that he bought on his behalf.
Whoa.
Yeah, and then he married her, and then he got her pregnant while he was on death row. And so then he like lived this life of him and his wife and his stepkid and his daughter.
From prison.
Yeah. I had no idea. So that's my
that person's fucking walking around right now. The son of Ted Bundy is like
must be. I haven't looked into what happened to his daughter, but that is actually what happened.
Yeah.
What's up, man?
Any network show updates? What do you want? like what network show updates?
Yeah. That's cool. Let's
network show updates.
What kind of update are you looking for?
From what network show? We'll find out.
Wait for him to respond.
On YouTube too.
No, I did not know that.
Right, there is. I read about that today. Anyway, I wanted to bring it back around to the fact that this weekend we have 3 gallery shows, which are going to be awesome. We have Igor Ventura.
Amazing.
Is one of the pieces for the show. It's called Monotone-ish because there are colors, but not very many.
And they're kind of monotone.
Yeah, and they're all based on like this virtual reality meets real world concept.
This one's not monotone. I think that's why it's ish.
Yeah, that's why it's ish.
That's so sick.
It is, and there's holes in it too. And there's a little guy that matches him.
That's cool.
So these are awesome. So these will be on display starting this weekend, open on Saturday.
Yes.
And then we also have, you have one. You show it.
Yo, okay. Oh my God.
So mine.
Boom. Fucking, I'm loving it. Damn, Rizzy. Fucking old friend of mine, guy I've worked with for fucking years, is making the transition into making these toys. And so this is gestural style. It's on a bear brick. Fucking love it. It's so good. Typically, I'm like bear bricks, like yawn. But this one, I'm like fucking bear bricks. Fuck yeah. Like, it's so good. I don't know.
He's awesome. Yeah. And he's so sweet too, I have to say. Totally. He's such a nice guy. And he did that network show with us where he painted one live, which was super fun. Like that was a really fun show to do. We should do more of those. So we should get him to do that. So that show is going to be exciting. And then we also have some paintings. Here they are by Zach Friedberg. They're all like resin covered, space, neon, crazy, sci-fi. They're awesome. So yeah, 3 awesome shows opening this Saturday at Clutter Gallery. Come at 6 o'clock. The 5 Points Fest. So you guys did 2 weeks. I'm hearing from all the artists this haven't been paid. Network doesn't pay out for 30 days. And all the artists know that when they come on. So what are you talking about?
Yeah. Stirring the pot. Stirring the pot.
Just like what?
You have a problem, Man Bear Man?
So yeah. Wow. Wow. Cool.
And then after 30 days, network pays out the money. That's the way it works.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Network.
I don't know, just to fill people in, like this guy has been kind of abusing us on Kickstarter. Just like if you're part of our Kickstarter campaign, you know that there was some like massive delays with the product, and so there's little we can do when stuff is coming from the factory. Like, our hands are fucking tied. Like, we are trying to get the stuff, and they're telling us it's
the factories were shut down because of the pandemic. Right, pandemic happened. The shaft factory shut down. Like everything's rolling out now. We're giving full updates, and like the last pieces are almost ready to ship. The Mac and the 40 ounce, and
we're not shipping them. Just for the record.
Yeah, like we're
You're talking about Hot Actor. Hot Actor is shipping them directly. Fifth Tail is shipping them directly. They're all individual artists shipping
but
their
the background
stuff.
on Man Bear Man is that he's
aggressively
posting on Kickstarter, saying things, aggressively posting, and so we're happy to address it. In this form because it just sort of doesn't make the things that Man Bear Man has been saying on Kickstarter don't make any sense. He's obviously not reading the updates,
and it's a very small community, and everybody knows each other. So it's a very strange way.
If there was an artist that we were working with that actually had a problem, that artist would actually reach out to us and deal with us. Why you're talking to us about it is just sort of befuddling to us. So, we're just happy to be, doing our thing.
So thank you for joining us tonight so we can actually address this publicly, because it's been a thing that's been going on for a while. So thank you for joining us, Man Bear Man. We're happy to have you tonight, Clutter Live.
Yeah.
Cool. Well,
you're the only one that's been commenting like that.
Yeah, totally. Totally. We've been very
1,000 backers. You're the angry customer.
You are the angry customer. You should change your handle to angry customer.
Yeah.
Yeah, word.
Yeah.
Word. So
Word.
So anyway, tonight's episode.
Yes.
The world isn't shut down. Okay. It's not shut down. No. What's the point?
Yeah, we got the 3 ounces. We got the Kickstarters. We've been shipping everything out. Yeah, small team of just you're looking at it. So it just takes time to get stuff out there. So I'm sorry, dude. Like, it takes time, and we are good now. So
yeah.
Alive.
And you have everything apart from one thing.
Yeah.
So you have the mech, which is on its way. We just actually saw the new colors, right? Cez? We saw there's 3 colorways coming. We just saw them. They're awesome. I have an update ready to go for Kickstarter. So if you back the Kickstarter and you're waiting for an update, then you are going to get one really soon, because we have the 40 ounces too. I don't have who has $800 of your money? You spent $285 on Kickstarter. We don't have $800 of your money.
Yeah,
where's that?
Lies.
Oh, boy. All right.
Do you mean network does? I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
All right.
Anyways,
let's move on. Man, let's fucking move on from this fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
All right. So this show we have an amazing lineup of guests. First of all, we have some new Cambot releases to talk about. We have the artist behind this. And then next, we have an amazing artist that everyone's come to see. And then after that, we have another toy tank.
That's right.
So we have 3 segments this week. So we're like slamming it in there. It's going to be awesome.
Yes.
All right. So should we bring on?
Yes.
Before we start talking about what this is and why it's exciting.
Yes.
Let's bring on
our first guest.
Our first guest.
Boom.
Cezard,
there he is. Cezard. Welcome.
Hey, everyone.
To Clutter Talks Live.
Welcome. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
So this is our first time really hanging in person. I said just a minute ago, like seeing you in person is amazing because I watch all your videos and I'm kind of like intimidated by you because you're like so dope. You do the coolest videos, man. Your work, I mean, your work is amazing. Your artwork is amazing, but like I just love watching all of.
Thanks. Yeah. I mean, it's fun. The videos have been cool. Like, I mean, it allows me kind of do something fun after I finish each piece. So it's something to look forward to. It's like I finished the figure, but I'm not done yet. I have to figure out a video to show my reveal. And you know, it's like Instagram and TikToks help me kind of get more exposure too. So it's another creative.
That's awesome.
They're really awesome.
Thank you.
So we just did this drop with you and CZ.
Here it is.
The Cup and Noodle Cambot. I think this is your first production release figure.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally is. That's why it's very exciting for me. I mean, I'm glad I got to hop onto this project with you guys. And food, I mean, perfect fits me.
It's perfect.
Of course.
It is perfect for you. So we were approached with this license. This is officially licensed Cup Noodles Cambot.
Yes.
And so we instantly thought that Cezard would be a great artist to work on this alongside CZ.
That's right.
And so it's another collaboration piece. And it came together so beautifully.
We love it so much. The noodles, the food, the chopsticks, like everything about it's so rad. It's the exclusive dropped with Sideshow and Unruly. I'm always confused between Sideshow and Unruly, but because they sort of like talk about themselves interchangeably, but Unruly is their designer toy brand. So we asked them if they'd be interested in getting involved. And so they took the first exclusive flavor from us just to get everyone on the same page what we're talking about. But what we have in our hands right now are the Chase flavors. So when you buy the chicken flavor colorway, you may actually get
one of
these 2. And this one is
that's the hearty chicken.
This is the hearty chicken.
And this is the spicy chili chicken.
So there's only in the whole run of the Cup and Noodle. We say Cup and Noodle, but it's not Cup and Noodle. It's Cup Noodle.
I also calling it Cup of Noodles too, though. So
where does the O come from?
I don't know. I always thought it was Cup of Noodles.
Yeah,
I always thought it was too.
And we've been working with them for years now, and I still call it Cup of Noodles.
Yeah,
and I know that
in Cup Noodles, it feels like I'm saying it wrong or something, but
right. And I know that in England they don't even have cup noodles. You guys have pot noodles,
yeah,
which I think is a different brand.
Yeah, different brand. Yeah,
totally different brand.
It is. So this has like a fully sculpted noodle replacement cap with chopsticks. It's really cool.
I love it so much.
And then, so the license comes with all the different flavors. I want to say colors because they are
don't tell
colors.
Everyone that. It's a secret.
Yeah, but I want to explain why it's like this.
Okay.
And so chicken has 3 different varieties, but they're all very similar.
Yes.
Because, spicy chili chicken, hearty chicken, and chicken. And we didn't want to make 3 separate releases, but we did want to do all the designs.
That's right.
So if you buy one of these, you may get
one of the chicken flavor colorway.
You may get the chicken flavor, or you may get one of these 2 chases, which are slightly different colors. This one's red. That one's like an oranger color.
I think this one actually does match the chicken flavor.
But it says hearty chicken.
Which one's the rarest?
These 2 are equally rare.
Yeah.
Equally rare. Okay.
These are equally rare. So
but both rarer than the other one.
Much rarer.
Much rarer than the chicken.
I think I can announce how many pieces of the chase there are.
You do? I don't know how many there are. You tell me.
There are only 50 pieces of each chase.
Oh, okay.
So
they're all
really
rare,
exciting.
They're super rare.
They're super rare. Super rare.
This one's my favorite, the spicy chili chicken.
Because it's red?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah. So they rattle. This one doesn't rattle because it's a sample, but they do rattle.
You got a box set?
No.
I don't have a box here.
Just the samples.
So let's flip to
The
Zard.
box is cool. All right.
All right. Totally.
That's the way it goes. So Zard, how did you first get into designer toys?
Oh man. Let's see. I think I've been doing it for, let's see, I started 2010. It was right after I graduated from college. I think I've always been into art. I just never knew what kind of like art I wanted to stick with. So I stuck with like traditional like painting on canvas. And then I think after college, I had more time on my hands and I started customizing like shoes, hats, shirts. And then I think I got my hands on my first Kid Robot money. I mean, I was still living on Guam. So it was like, I'm like back home. And then no one was really familiar with like designer toys at the time. So I didn't know anyone else who was collecting it. I just found like, oh, this thing that you could customize is a plain figurine. And I think I did my first figure and I kind of like, it was pretty fun. I started doing a lot more. I think I only started doing the food themes like probably like 3 years into it. And then I think that's what resonated most with like collectors, like, oh, duh, food and art. So I started doing that. And that's kind of what I specialize in now. I've done like tons of food. Like every snack chips out there, I think I've probably covered it. I mean, the good thing is there's always something new I haven't done yet. So I never run out of inspiration or ideas. And it's fun. I mean, I go for realism, kind of like in Japanese restaurants, they have those like fake display food. So it's kind of like that, like art and then food. And, that's kind of like combined into like, designer toys. That's why I know I've just been enjoying it. Always like looking forward to like new ideas I haven't pulled off yet. So yeah, the Cup Noodle is pretty good. It's my first official like, collab or like a official licensed piece too. That's like the cherry and toy. That's pretty cool. And I grew up eating cup of noodles. Like I think a lot of us kind of grew up eating cup of noodles. Are all familiar with it.
Yeah, it's a really iconic brand.
Yeah.
There's a whole museum that Cezard found in Japan.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can customize. I think you can make your own noodles too. So you choose the toppings and they package it for you, so you could actually take it home like a souvenir.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's really
cool. We'll have to go visit.
That's cool.
That's super rad.
How old were you when you left Guam?
I think this is 25. So that was like about that was 2013.
Okay.
Yeah. It's been a long time. I mean, the good thing is I was doing it back home for like maybe a good 2 years. And then when I moved to California, I just kind of like brought it with me. And the scene was way bigger out here. So I was able to get more exposure, kind of like, get into the scene more. And I live in SF, so there was a Kid Robot that was there. So kind of like was able to like find at least a local place for, meet other artists. And I was able to meet the team there. But yeah, since then, I've just been kind of grinding away and doing tons of pieces. I think since I started, I've done like a good almost 2,500 customs.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah, all hand painted, hand sculpted by me. So I work with the Kid Robot figures a lot, but I started expanding to like, other brands too. So
and your sculpts have got more and more elaborate. Like they're balance and they're like twist and turn, and it's amazing.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I try to kind of like step up my game every time, like trying to incorporate new elements to it. So like I like the whole make it look like it's moving. So like floating chopsticks, or like I make the ingredients kind of float in the air, so it looks like it's like frozen. But yeah.
It's amazing.
So what's some of your favorite food that you haven't yet created? What's on deck with the food?
Oh man. Good question. I mean, there's always so much food out there that it's like on my list of things I want to pull off, but I haven't done yet. It's hard to think of. I think I've covered at least all my favorite foods already. It's more of just like any new snacks that come out, like always kind of like, especially like limited edition snacks, where like Doritos always comes with new flavors. So
have
like,
you done like country snacks? Like these are snacks from Japan, and these are only snacks from Britain.
When you did your show with us, it was like, wasn't it every state?
Yes.
Oh yeah. I did every.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Iconic states, like iconic dishes from every state or cities. So that's good. I mean, I like that just because it allowed me kind of research on like what each place is kind of known for.
Right.
And then like I've done like pieces from all over the world, like countries, like each country's like iconic dishes. So that's a good it allows me to kind of like cover new things I've even never tried before. And the fun part is like, at least when I'm about to do a new design, I got to do my research, right? So I got to like try the real food. It gives you a reason to eat something, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You should do a British comparison, American comparison snacks because like the cream egg.
UK one.
What I mean, like, what are some snacks in there? Like maybe
Monster Munch. You should do Monster Munch.
Yeah, Monster Munch.
Monster Munch. Ooh, interesting. I haven't heard that one.
Monster Munch. What do you call crisps here again?
Chips.
Chips. They're chips, but they're like puffy and they're like in the shape
corn
of a
snacks. Yeah, they're like corn snacks, and they're sort of like a pork.
Ooh, I gotta look into that one. Yeah, I don't think I've done that one. I don't think I've ever come across that snack either. So
I'll send you some Monster Munch.
Yeah.
They're
delicious too.
I mean, you're in California. I was going to say, there's just a store in Connecticut. We'll go over and like look at, but you're not here, so
maybe some skips. Maybe some skips too.
Maltesers.
I think I've done that one actually.
Maltesers.
I've done that like years ago. Someone commissioned me to do that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Maltesers. I grew up really liking Whoppers a lot, and then turned me on to Maltesers, and you just can't go back.
No.
Like Whoppers are garbage. It's sad.
Pickled onions, Monster Munch. Yeah, pickled onions. See, for the win. That's not even a flavor you would have here. Pickled onion Monster Munch. Yeah.
Pickled onion
flavor crisps are the best.
Oh my god!
You got Funyuns, haven't you?
We have Funyuns. So pickled onion.
So they don't make like pickled onion flavored things here at all.
Onion, right?
Yeah, that's crazy. I had never heard of this, and it seems like everybody knows about this.
We have a lot of Brits watching. There you go.
Pickled onion. You guys have like all different flavored crisps.
We do.
Like Thanksgiving and squirrel.
Gravy. Squirrel, yeah. They did a competition, right? Walkers in England to find a new flavor of crisp. And I think that squirrel was one that was picked one year.
Oh my god.
Squirrel?
Squirrel.
What?
Yeah.
What does that even taste like? Yeah.
You know.
Got a question here.
A limited edition.
You made a pizza.
Have you made a pizza? You must have.
I have done a ton of pizza. I've done like different kind. I've done like Pizza Planet. I've done like Domino's Pizza. I've done like Pizza Hut. I've done like Mexican pizza. I'm actually I think I've done a lot over the years for sure. Different. I mean, like the good thing is I could always switch up the toppings. So
that's true. Pizza's endless.
Exactly. Yeah. I've done Lunchables pizza too. in every form. So
that's awesome.
It's a little game I always play with people. Like, just name a snack or candy, and I'll let you know if I did or not. Like, maybe a good 80% of them I probably did already.
Yeah.
Have you documented them all? Are they like all on the website?
For sure. I have I keep track of every piece I've made over the years. You know, I have I could totally put them on a book, a portfolio of all the pieces.
You have to do a book.
You should do that.
Yeah, it'd be a lookbook. Like, it's tons of that. There'll be a lot to look at. Like the way I should go to the grocery store, like I go to candy aisle or snack aisle. I just haven't done that one. So yes. And if I didn't do it yet, grab one and then just keep them. I have a snack library in my studio, just where I have a bunch of snacks. And my rule is I can't eat it until I do my piece based of that piece, and then I could eat it afterwards. Because I can.
It's like a weird kind of torture.
That's what I would do.
It is, yeah. Unless I buy two and I eat one beforehand, and then I save one for later on for when I do my videos afterwards. But
yeah.
Basically, I'm the worst. I'm always snacking. It's outside of the art, I snack a lot, and then when it comes, because I do snack art, it's I'm just even snacking even more. So,
do you ever think about going outside of food?
No.
You're staying in your lane.
I've done a couple. I do characters, superhero stuff like that. I think I've done that before I got into food, and then here and there, I have commissions who request non-food themes. But I mean, for me, I really enjoy doing the food stuff. It makes me happy. So I'm at least I get food and arts kind of just my happy place. So
that's awesome. I see from your studio you're organized.
I was just about to say how organized the studio was.
I cleaned it up a bit, but I work. Mine is organized chaos. That's kind of how I work for sure. Behind the camera, there's I just shove everything back there.
Oh my god,
that's a good idea. Yeah,
have you ever done a schnitzel?
Schnitzel. No, I haven't yet.
No,
I haven't.
I actually watched a 20-minute video of Wolfgang Puck cooking schnitzel the other day.
What?
And I thought to myself, I watched him make it. It was because schnitzel is delicious, and I watched him go through this whole procedure, and I was like, I'm never gonna fucking do that.
What about Rocky Mountain oyster? Have you done that?
There you go. Bring it
No,
back.
I
All
have
back.
not done that one.
Nice.
Unfortunately, I haven't done that one.
Oh my goodness.
I haven't come across my mind to pull that one up yet, but
throw out ideas.
I don't think there's
What have
a
you done?
brand of Rocky Mountain oysters, like an actual brand of them
No, you can do
for
it.
Cezard to like.
yeah, right. Like, how do I?
List.
Where do I go? I mean, like, I guess if I go to some of the grocery stores here, like, just ask them, like, do you sell like testicles?
Yeah.
You guys see the packaging.
I'm like, you know, they carry like a lot of the different meats, so I'm like, I'm assuming they save all the parts of the animal, like they would probably sell it.
Oh, I feel like this is a business opportunity that really nobody's tapping into. We could be the first. Maybe all of us right now, we can just fucking do
the
it.
mighty Tanaka testicles.
Yeah, totally.
Just Tanaka's testes.
Oh, boom, Josh, there you go. Fucking.
You already got a catchy name there. See?
I don't know. Susie's not pleased. I can.
Yeah. I see that.
Especially if you give it to him in some soup. He would really like
that. Yeah, totally.
Some wet meat.
So this collab is funny because this is actually. Oh no, but you like
pot noodles.
No, I'm fine with stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay, Cece just doesn't like when we go to ramen and put meat in the soup, and then he's pissed. He's just.
It's just because like the broth is just like it just looks like water with some wet meat in, doesn't it? And like all the noodles are at the bottom, and and they give you that stupid shit spoon, right? Don't they? Like, how the fuck do you eat some fucking wet meat and some noodles with a fucking stupid spoon? Like, yeah, nice.
Cece, yeah,
they're all looking at you like this is the best one ever, isn't it? Like that, and I'm like, fuck off, like fucking shit. It's like dish fucking water or something. You know what I mean?
You're the only person that I know that thinks that.
About ramen,
But
yeah.
when
I was in Pasadena, it was really nice, which is strange.
What was different about the ramen in Pasadena?
I don't know. I was brutally hungover, so I think it really like had all the goodness in it to make me feel better. So
okay,
probably that.
All right.
You just needed the salty water just to like.
So yeah, made it more appealing for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But pot noodles, I used to like to eat raw.
I've heard about this. And actually, wasn't that in Squid Games?
Was it?
There was like one moment where they go to like a convenience store and they're sitting outside. It's one of the later episodes, and they're sitting outside, and the guy just takes the dry noodles and breaks them up, and they just start eating them out of a pack.
They sell instant noodles in like packets too. So like I've seen people snack on it where like they crush it up, they put a powder, and then they shake it in.
Right.
Yeah.
So they eat it like that. And I think they've actually sold snacks. I don't know if it's a Japanese snack, but they sold it where it's not meant to be cooked. It's meant to be eaten like that. And it's like instant noodles, but it's a snack. So you don't cook it, but it's raw noodles and then with the powder inside.
Dude, this is for real. When I was in elementary school, this was like the delicacy on the fucking playground. Like all the kids had their bag full of like raw ramen with the fucking powder. So like, yeah, totally.
You go to school in jail?
You know, well, I kind of felt like it. I'll tell you what, though, that shit was fucking raw.
Because isn't that currency?
Yeah, I guess we could have made it currency. We were thinking ahead.
Oh, what's up, Frank? Sorry, I gotta say hi to Frank when Frank says hi.
Hey,
Frank. I was gonna text you earlier this week, Frank, just to be like, "What's up?"
Everybody in the chat should put their favorite snack as a comment, and we'll see if Zard has created a custom of it.
Yeah,
totally.
Throw out your favorite snacks.
I see some put Skittles. I've done Skittles. I've done like tons of Skittle flavors.
Have you ever done ring pops?
Good one. Ring pop is like kind of like coming down the line. I haven't done it yet, but
okay.
I'm a ring pop here ready for Ring to do it.
Because I would think that would be rad with the gem.
Yeah.
That would be super
ring pop and like baby bottle pop.
Yeah.
I like to do a lot of nostalgic stuff. So like stuff I grew up eating, like especially like back in the 90s or things they discontinued, and then like some that they discontinued and brought back. So
what was the ones that we had? It was like a packet of like 4 sugars, and then there was like 3 dipsticks.
Fun dip.
Yeah.
You've done fun dip?
I've done fun dip. I've done Yeah, I've done like 3 fun dip flavors already.
Have you done a Kinder Egg?
I've done Kinder Egg, yeah.
You have? Huh?
I
was like, that's kind of the perfect one to do.
Kind of, because you could put anything inside the Kinder Egg.
Yeah.
You could have like a dinosaur in there.
Hey, Nemo, come and join us on YouTube because that's where we are. Come over.
Yeah, everyone on Instagram.
Nemo. How are you feeling?
Yeah. Have you ever snorted a pixie stick? That shit hurts.
Oh, man. No, haven't thought about it. I just ate it.
I have snorted Tang.
Oh yeah, that shit would hurt too.
Which is basically the same thing, just like, you know, right? Because you see people doing drugs on television, but you're like 13 and you don't understand what's happening. But you're like, I can cut a line of this.
Yeah.
That's
totally.
I think most of the people on this podcast, not you, and maybe not Zard. I don't know Zard that well, but the rest was criminals. So like everyone on this side of the chat in the video, definitely criminal mentality.
Raven's Revenge. No. Does anybody remember Raven's Revenge? It was like a concentrated sugar in wacky colors.
No
idea.
What country is
what
this?
country we're talking about?
What country?
That's an interesting one.
This person was also asking about the Austrian national dish of schnitzel. So maybe it's a continental Europe thing.
Maybe.
Watermelon. What's up, Ghost Fox? Watermelon I can't even pronounce this. Rebanaditas lollipops.
Is that the Mexican candy?
Yeah. Rebanaditas. Am I saying that right?
I haven't done it, but I've seen it.
No.
I know I haven't done much Mexican candies though. The good thing is like I'm in San Diego, so like it's easy to access all of it. But I haven't done much Mexican candy. But a lot of people always ask me.
You have to do that.
I've done Sour Patch Kids. Chico.
What about
what are Chico sticks?
What are those?
Around to answer.
Should we bring on our next guest and we can talk about Chico sticks?
Oh,
yeah. Let's bring her on, keep her on the side, and then we'll flip.
Yeah, we'll keep Zard on the main stage now. Everyone,
it's Mumbot. Hello, Mumbot. Can you unmute? Are you muted?
Oh, am I? Oh, shit.
Hi, everyone.
Here we go.
Hello.
Good. That's perfect. All
right. What are Chico sticks?
Oh, Chico sticks are it's kind of like it tastes like the inside of what is that? Like Butterfinger. It's like a wafery.
Oh, it's orange, right?
It's orange, yeah.
I know what you're talking about. I've never done that one yet, but I do know what you're talking about. When you say Butterfinger, I know what you're talking about.
So
okay,
those are good though, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Orange Bag Lady really likes Chico sticks, I think.
It's just happy. I think she's just cheering because there's like a 10-second delay. Don't forget.
Right.
So it like comes up.
Gotcha. Where did you get Chico sticks from?
Oh, I don't know. I remember they used to have them at like 7-Eleven and all the,
Yeah, it's one of those easy to find candy. I definitely see it a lot.
Yeah, West Coast though. That's West Coast.
Is it a West Coast thing?
Yeah, it's not. I never see them out here East Coast.
Yeah, I've never seen it back home on Guam. So I've only seen it for the first time here in California. So I never like looked for it anywhere.
I've never even heard of it.
It's crazy to me that in the same country, there's such difference between the West Coast and the East Coast in terms of food.
Sure.
Like it's wild. I mean, it's a huge country. I get that, but like it's surprising.
I mean, mayonnaise is totally different between here and there. Did you know that?
No, it's not.
It is.
No.
Here, so on East Coast, it's Hellman's.
Okay.
And on the West Coast, it's Best Foods, right?
I don't know. I'm not the right person.
I know. I mean, I saw all the brands, but I didn't know there was a preference by like what part of the U.S. you're from.
Well, I think it's the same company. They just market it completely.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, they've snapped up like one person owns everything, but it's like there are divides culturally. I don't know anyone on the East Coast that uses Miracle Whip.
Yeah, right. I love the name Hellman, fucking that's so good. I'll leave anything called Hellman,
Yeah, right? That's what have you done Hellman's mayonnaise?
I have not done mayonnaise yet. I haven't done much. Yeah.
Have you done any condiments?
No, I haven't done much just because.
Sorry.
I've done like this. So I've done a Filipino ketchup. I've heard of banana ketchup.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Jufren is the brand. I've done that one actually. I think that's the only condiment I've done. I've done the Japanese mayo. You know,
like the baby doll mayo.
Yeah, so I've done one of that one with takoyaki. It's like a little set. I did like the dunny into the mayo, and then next to it was like mini takoyakis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's so you haven't said his name, but I'll say it. I was going to bring up Sket.
Yeah.
Was you know, we've done obviously a lot of Cambots with Sket, and so he and I were bouncing ideas back and forth, and periodically I would throw an idea out at him, and he'd be like, "Oh no, that's a Zardapuya."
Well, I know.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
He's the one where I try not to do because like I know he already did. Like, man, I can't do anything that he's done.
Honestly, he's well aware of your work.
Oh man, he's honestly like that's such an honor for you to mention, because like he's actually one of like the inspiration for me to do food, just because he's been doing it like way before I started. And he was known for the the condiments. Like I was just thinking, like, shit, I can't do any of those condiments.
Cool.
Collab.
Sriracha. A lot of people ask me about sriracha.
Sriracha, I'm sure.
Yeah, but he did it, so I'm like, I can't. Every time someone requests a sriracha, like I can't do it. I don't want to do it.
No, that's good. Then I think he feels the same way. He's like, that's more like what Zard would do. You know, because I was bouncing all kinds of ideas off him. He's like, no. He's like, I'm confident.
I was like, oh man, I thought he didn't know I existed. Like, oh yeah.
No.
We got over here on the side over there.
Sket's the man. He's cool.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Awesome.
Well, thank you for doing this with us.
Yes.
This is available from sideshow.com, right?
It's exclusively at Sideshow right now. And
check it out.
Yes, it's going to be available on our web.
You guys feel like collabing with this for me, because it's a fun one, you know?
Of course. We're so happy to be working with you. And they will be available on our website at some point. We just haven't decided when. We've been a little busy.
And I'm excited to get more of the colorways out, because there's some really fun ones down the line.
Yes.
So,
there are more awesome.
That's the good thing with cup noodles. There's tons of flavors.
There is.
Yes.
There is.
It's not colorways, it's like flavors now.
That's right.
And also, don't you think these would make a really cool blind box series, like 3 ounces?
Yeah.
Where you have to collect all the flavors. I'm just saying that would be fun.
Sounds yummy.
We'll work on making it smell like it too. We want chicken.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Oh, good.
Like shrimp scented. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Do you get into trouble then if you make production toys?
Oh, sorry, that's my teenager.
He thought it was a good idea.
That was great.
He's playing God of War, and he's being very kind to put his headphones on and like be quiet.
He got caught in the moment. It's just like he just had to like.
He did.
He's been waiting for this story for a long time. Sorry.
No spoilers, please.
Does anybody have any? But there's no cats on this episode.
Does anybody have a cat?
That's been a recurring theme, is like cats just like coming across.
No
Yeah,
cats.
no cats. That's cool.
No
We're cat free. That's good. We like that. Awesome.
Right.
Well, thank you so much, Zard. It's been a pleasure
absolutely.
hanging with you.
Yeah. And you're obviously gonna do decon, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So shout out. I'll be at decon with one-eyed girl, Casey. She's awesome.
Yes.
She's amazing. She's my East Coast buddy. So
Nice.
yeah, we're booth 1831. We will have tons of new pieces. We both like doing food stuff. So when you come to our booth, make sure you eat lunch, because you're gonna be like just looking at everything food. So it's gonna be a fun show.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And like, feel free to like drop by, share some ideas of like pieces I've never done. I always like suggestions. So down the line, you'll probably see it. Like I make a piece off of that. So
bring Zard obscure candy.
Yes.
For decon. Taking all the obscure candy.
Feel free to drop snacks to me. I'm more than happy to take snacks.
Right on.
I have a request. Camping food. Camping theme.
Oh.
I've done a s'mores one. I don't know that's camp one. I know I've done s'mores. I don't know what other cool camping ideas, camping food.
That was metal little tins, right? That you cook everything in. You'd have to just do everything.
Kebabs.
You like barbecue stuff. I've done some barbecue pieces, like grilling. I've done like Korean barbecue. That was a fun one.
Have you done pastrami?
I've done. Yeah, that's the one I did for you.
Yeah, you did. It was the Philadelphia one, right?
That was
no, that's New York.
New York
that
one.
was New York, yeah.
New York's pastrami. You can't. Philly's
That's
the
true.
cheese.
Philly, I did a cheesesteak for that one.
I'm not American. I can just be like,
Yeah, no, you could just do like a whole set of Jewish deli ones for me. Just like a pickle and a pastrami and a celery soda. Anybody? Celery soda?
Celery?
Celery soda.
Celery.
It's celery flavored, but it's pronounced celery.
Really? Wow.
If you've never had it, when you come to New York, I'll take you for a celery soda
Nice.
and a pastrami sandwich.
There you go. See, that's what I do. Like every time I like travel, I have to go always find food to eat there. That's why traveling also kind of like plays with like, I'm a big foodie, so every time I go on a trip, I just eat.
Awesome.
I'm doing research while I'm eating. Like I'm researching, so
yes, exactly.
I eat everything.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. You can
hang, but we're gonna flip
and
in
if
Mumbot.
you have to go, that's fine.
Yeah, and bounce
too.
when you need to bounce, or stay and come back.
Well, thank you guys again. Appreciate it.
Man, thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck with Decon, man. Good luck with Decon. Stay safe out there. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Now for the main stage. It's Mumbot. Hey Jade, how are you?
Hi. Good. How are you guys?
We are hanging in there.
Not bad.
Super busy, but we're hanging in there.
Yeah, we're cranking for Basel.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
Where you're gonna be at?
I'm gonna be there. I'm cranking for DesignerCon first, so
yeah.
I'm literally doing some cut and assembly right now during the show.
That's awesome. It's like behind there, doing things up.
You're gonna have to stop working for a minute and talk to us.
Yeah.
And thanks for talking to us like not at 3 a.m. I feel like your hours are totally flipped upside down.
My hours are crazy.
Right? Yeah. Is that because of Discord?
It's also because of time zones. Like people are just in all these different time zones, and that part of it is Discord. Part of it is just also like when I can get the most productivity is when like my family's asleep. So that's the reason.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. So we want to know your Toy Story, but we should start with like where you're born, where you grew up, and like your history as a human.
And let's pretend that we haven't had this conversation with each other like 12 million times offline.
Yeah.
Because this actually doing it on documenting it. There you go. That's the word I was looking for.
Okay. I'll try. I'll do my best. I was born in California. Actually, I was born in Beverly Hills.
Beverly Hills.
Yeah. I was hoping you'd do that.
I knew it.
Counting on it.
Yeah.
So I was born in Cedars-Sinai Hospital. It's like,
whoa.
Apparently
that's
it's
the
like
spot.
Yeah, it's the spot. Apparently, I didn't know, but that was this baby.
I mean, that's where oh my God, what's Jay-Z's baby's name? Whatever, I don't know. It's like when they have the big baby announcements. It's like that's Cedars-Sinai.
That's the spot.
If you can afford it, that's the spot.
Yeah. So I grew up till I was about 8-ish in California, and then moved to Las Vegas, and I lived in Vegas for another 8 years, and then I moved to New York. And I was in New York for, from age 16 through until like a few years back when we went to Thailand. So
right. When you were in Vegas, was it kind of rough?
It was super rough. Yeah, I actually happened to grow up in a very rough neighborhood, and when I lived there, I knew it was pretty rough, but like you couldn't deny it. But it was like one of those things that when I came out of there, I felt like I must have kind of exaggerated in my mind how bad it was. And then I was working, and some article came out, and there was a newspaper article about the 25 worst neighborhoods in the United States. And this was like based on like FBI statistics and all these things. And my neighborhood, the actual street that I grew up on, which is called 28th Street, it was the 4th worst neighborhood in the United States. The first, number 1 being the worst, mine was 4th. So yeah, it was pretty hardcore.
Wow.
So you weren't exaggerating in your mind.
I wasn't exaggerating.
That was a gnarly neighborhood.
So what was the craziest thing that you saw growing up there then?
Well, for sure, I saw a lot of crazy things. I was a little desensitized, right? So I saw fights regularly, like walking to and from school, in school as well. But the craziest thing was definitely when I was walking to school in 5th grade and I saw a guy get shot. And it was like,
Whoa.
I'm crossing a major intersection. No one's around. I think I'm maybe 9 or 10 years old. And I'm crossing the street and like these two cars are shooting at each other. And one car goes up the curb onto the actual corner that I'm standing on, and they all get out of the car and they're all like screaming, freaking out, I'm shot. Like one guy's shot and he's bleeding in his shoulder. And I remember screaming at them, you fucking idiots, go to the hospital. like 10, and I'm just screaming at these cholos like with guns, like go to the hospital. And then they all like run around and get back in the car and they speed off. And
Oh my
but
God.
like, yeah, this kind of stuff like like was normal. Like my one of my best friends who was also my fellow spelling bee champion buddy, because we like tied for spelling bee champ in middle school. She had a really cool family that would let me kind of just come hang and they'd like feed me and stuff. And I remember we were hanging out for New Year's one night, and it was just like gunshots for like 2 hours. Like we didn't have fireworks, we just had gunshots for 2 hours.
Oh my God.
It was pretty intense. Yeah.
So spelling bee words were like wound. You spell murder.
Oh my God, that's terrifying.
Oh my, yeah, wow. So from there you went to Long Island.
Yeah, it's like culture shock.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my aunt and uncle, who are amazing, they adopted me as
How is your uncle, by the way?
He's good now. He had a surgery. Yeah, he's good. So thank you for asking. Yeah.
Of course.
That that was really big because I was, finishing, I wasn't done with high school, and they kind of swooped in and took on the responsibility of like helping a wild teenager who's mostly formed already as a human being, and not knowing what that could entail, right? Like you have no idea what you're bringing into your house. But luckily, I'm pretty good. I'm a pretty good kid. I was a pretty good kid. So anyway, it was awesome because they were really supportive of the arts, and I was like, I loved school actually, it was weirdly like a thing I wanted to do well in school, but mainly like I was always very ambitious, so I like really tried hard. I was a try hard with everything that I did, and art was one of those things, and they were super supportive of it. And just getting to like go to these amazing museums suddenly, and having art supplies, like just people who would like buy me art supplies and support my dream.
Yeah.
Huge.
So were you always drawing? Do you always have the bug for drawing?
Oh yeah. I was drawing my whole life. Also I always liked sculpture too, but I just didn't have access to it. So it was like when school would offer that, like, oh, we're doing a focus on sculpture this month or whatever, then you'd get clay and you'd get to do it for whatever class that was. That was when I'd be like going ham on whatever that I was given access to. But yeah.
So that was amazing that they took care of you like that, and then there must have also just been the culture shock of coming to New York.
Yeah, I realized I had a dark sense of humor. Like I had a kind of a grim sense of humor, and things that were reality to me weren't taken lightly in the town that I was living in. So like in Long Island, when I would make a joke, things that were normally funny to me because so cute, my daughter just sewed an outfit for Mom. Can I share it? Oh my God, it's so
Please.
Look how cute this is.
Oh,
love it.
That's amazing.
That's
That's
great.
That's really good.
That's really good.
Thank
That's
you.
so cool. Yeah, that's awesome. I just like splurged on a sewing kit for her. What were we talking about? I'm sorry.
We were talking about
dark sense of humor that
Yeah.
didn't fit in with the yokels.
Yeah, so like, you know, one way of dealing with like difficult and challenging stuff is like humor, right? So like, you know, I happened to have I guess a pretty grim way of like, you know, certain jokes I would make would be reflective of like what I would see, you know, or what I was used to. And I guess when I moved to Long Island, there are a lot of kids who aren't exposed to that regularly. You know, there are no yeah, I don't even want to get into it. Like I've changed, you know, so I'm not like, it's not something that I do now, but when I was at that age, I would like make a joke about like a crackhead or about like, you know, things that are considered like weird to joke about to these kids in this like place where they're being raised to like change the world. And
Right.
they're kind of, you know, which is cool actually. So I was glad that I kind of learned to become sensitive to the subjects, but at the same time, now that I'm older, I also feel like, well, you know, when you grow up in a bubble and you think that I don't know, you think that it's not okay for someone to joke about these things, you know, it's a coming from an entitled place as well, I guess. So there's that.
Right. I mean, it's an interesting life just up to that point. So when did you know that you were going to be an artist?
I it was always in my like top 5 things I wanted to be. So like astronaut, comedian, drummer.
Do you play the drums?
I'm okay, but like my son is amazing. He's fulfilled that for me.
Cool. So wait, astronaut, drum. Missed one.
Now.
I missed one.
Astronaut, comedian.
Comedian. I mean, I don't know if you ever told us a joke.
Oh, I'm like weird funny. Like I get things come to me and I can be pretty funny, but it's like, you know, has to be the right moment.
Yeah. You're probably just always keeping it to yourself.
Yeah, sometimes I laugh at my own jokes and people are like, that's...
You're psychotic. Right? Do people tell you that all the time, that you're kind of psychotic?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
me too.
That I'm, you know, definitely weird. So.
Cool.
Yeah.
What was next after that then? What happened?
Yeah.
Oh, with what? Where are we at?
You're in Long Island.
You're in Long Island, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
So it's funny. Is it quite a closed-minded town? Like, because it's a seaside town, right?
It is a seaside town, yeah. And it's
So
it's a mix
if you compare it to Weymouth here, you know, this place is quite closed-minded. And where you're saying that your maybe your humor wasn't quite right for the place, like, yeah.
I want to say that I felt like, yes, in some ways, yes, for sure. And then like in some other ways, I had some good friends who lived in surrounding towns that were, you know, very different. So like the neighboring towns were like so different, and our town was considered like the diverse, like more forward thinking and like progressive town. And it was like, I then felt like lucky, you know, like, oh, okay, this is, you know, and here's another thing. This was really cool. You know, they had resources like for people in underprivileged situations, you know, like that they just incorporated into like the town that I was living in really cared about that. Like, so like if there's a field trip form, for example, like you could just contribute to extra to like families who might not be able to afford to go on that field trip. You know what I mean? Just to have that built in was really a cool thing. I'd never seen that anywhere else.
Yeah.
But it's not like I've lived everywhere, but you know what I mean? Like, I thought that was really a cool thing.
Did you feel like an art career could have been made there? Or did you have to then travel to do?
Well, it's close to New York City. So close enough that I could commute. There's a train that goes right in, 45 minutes. And I really knew, like, for a long time, like, I really wanted to go to New York City. So someday, you know what I mean? So that was on my list. and like I got into one of my college, you know, goal schools that I really wanted to go to, which was School of Visual Arts.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
yeah. So I went to SVA, and I chose to study 2D animation, because like, you know, I had already been drawing, you know, my whole life, and I was like, okay, well, I don't really need someone to teach me how to draw, you know, especially when you're a teenager, you're like, I know how to draw,
Right.
but and paint. You know, I actually everything I felt like I taught myself, but animation seemed like something I need to learn. Like there's skills and chops you need to have, and through that process, I think I learned that I didn't want to go into the animation industry, even though I enjoyed like making animations and stuff, and I really grew as an artist. But I was taking all these other courses. I was taking like, you know, these fine art courses, and I was loving them. And I was taking like, I think I took another course with a teacher who's still one of my good friends, Joshua Davis. He's also known as Price Station. He was like one of my favorite teachers of all time. Super inspiring. Like,
did you have Freeney as a professor?
I did. I wish. That would have been so cool.
He's so old.
It's not that old.
I'm joking.
I had some old teachers that were amazing.
He just
keeps bragging on Freeney.
Yeah, it's like I just like to make fun of Freeney for being
Ralph
old.
Bakshi was one of my teachers.
Oh, really?
That's
That's cool.
Did you have
I am from Long Beach, Lewis. And what's funny is that, you know, Cece's from a seaside town. I'm from this little tiny seaside town. You spent time in a seaside town.
So did I. I spent time. We had his house on the seaside.
Yes.
I was there every weekend.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and you know, would make that trip into the city. And I think Long Island was really repressed, but I found it really liberating once I started smoking weed and I found the surfers and got like into a better culture. But I think when you're growing up in Long Island, it's like it feels like you're in a straitjacket of like, there's a certain way to act. And it was kind of like
small town stuff.
It was small town stuff, but you know, but the city's right there. So you are able to just like kind of get that influence if you want it. And
Long Beach is known for being a pretty cool part of Long Island.
Which one is it? Which
the
town
you grew up in? The town.
Long Beach?
Yeah.
Long Beach has like, because I mean, I don't know if it's this way anymore, but there were places to hide in Long Beach. You know, like you could go under the boardwalk. That's the song. It's pretty much, I think it was written in Long Beach. I think my mother had sex with the guy who wrote that song. His name's Freddie Scott.
Wow.
I don't know if my mom had sex with Freddie Scott, but she sang with Freddie Scott. Yeah, I mean, you just go get high under the boardwalk or like hang out on the boardwalk or like just run around. And, you know, there were like places to go and you could smuggle in a keg and have a party on the beach all night. So there were just spots. You could get around and kind of be in your own little March Ave. I don't know. Is there a March Ave? Yeah. So it was fun, and you could definitely find your way.
I'm picturing the scene in Karate Kid, where all the kids are on the beach. In the part where
that was Fresno.
Oh, right. That's in California. Yeah.
So everyone was standing backwards because we'd be standing the other way.
Looking at the other side of the world.
Yeah, looking at the other side of the world.
Yeah.
We're standing that way. Yeah. And it was a revelation to me that the best weed came from the cops. That was an eye-opening experience. But now weed's legal and it's just not cool anymore, right?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I guess so.
Back
I just want to say, I don't know,
Mumbot.
did you see Man Bear Man came and commented all this crazy stuff? And I will address it at the end because it was so much nonsense that I put him in a timeout.
Yes.
So at the end, I'll bring the comments up and I will address them all.
Oh,
But
you just like
don't want to interrupt.
everyone
this
take a breath. I don't know if you know this, Mumbot, but
waiting
we're being
for that.
assaulted. We're being
by one guy.
we're being assaulted by this one guy from Kickstarter. And I think that's actually, is it assault? Is actually words. I remember having this argument with a woman in a bar one night. And she was like, "You're assaulting
Really?
me." And I was like, I was really drunk and I was like, "Shut the fuck up. What are you talking about? I'm not assaulting you." And then like the next day somebody was like, "Actually, Josh, when you told her to fuck off, you were assaulting her." Because
I feel like there's a Zard food joke in there.
is there?
Yeah, is this a comedian?
To me? Please, I want to hear.
I gotta sit.
Assault?
For a second.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
There's a British shop in Manhattan called Assault and Battery.
Yeah, which is
and battery's a kind of
chip.
fish, right?
No, it's what you some kind of angry bear man is here. Yes, he's very angry. He's been very angry since day one. It's not new. It's really funny, but I'm not gonna do it now because I have answers to everything.
All right, don't do it.
So, Mumbot, can I just tell you that not all, but a lot of the best artists that I know went to SVA, and like I am so stoked to hear that you went there. Like, dude, fucking SVA is
what's really frustrating. Can I jump over you, Alex, on that one?
Do it.
It's so frustrating to me too because I went to NYU, and so when you go to when you're in school in the city, you kind of see like there's from where I was, it was NYU, Cooper Union, Parsons, and SVA. Right. And I was friends with kids from all 4 schools.
And FIT, right?
I really wasn't. I really wasn't friends with anybody from FIT. That seemed to be like in a parallel track over on 7th Avenue. That
they were fashion, man. They're not like
no, but FIT is more than fashion, and I'm aware of that now. But at the time, there wasn't that much. I don't think the FIT kids were coming over to the East Village, or I don't know.
Maybe.
But Cooper Union was like. Everyone was completely consumed to the point that it was sort of terrifying to even think about going there. And then Parsons was like really sort of intelligentsia and cool, but like sort of a step below NYU. But NYU was really, really conceptual, and we didn't do all that much hands-on work. And then SVA was in this other world where it was like I would see the work coming at SVA and they would crush everything because it was just constantly hands-on, actual learning, actual making art, and we would reconcile ourselves with the fact that we were getting this like sort of conceptual framework for the art world, but we weren't making that much stuff. And I was just so jealous of the studios and the work coming out of SVA always. So
I wanted to go to NYU. I didn't get in.
Really?
Yeah.
What did you do like a portfolio day?
What did I do? I don't remember. It's so long ago. But yeah,
I remember going to a portfolio day at NYU and having like
I think I did go to that.
Yeah, and I was shocked that they let me in. I thought my portfolio was just all over the place. And I thought it was
maybe that's what they liked, that it was all over the place.
I thought it was unimpressively all over the place because then immediately I was hit by like the other kids who had gotten into NYU and they'd gone to like art magnet schools around the country and had focus. And I went to Long Beach High.
Yeah, that's pretty cool though that you got
Long
in.
Beach High.
You got in, yeah.
I mean, I was really grateful that I got in. It's where I wanted to go because I had a plan. Like as soon as I got to school in the city, I was going to buy a butterfly chair from Urban Outfitters, and I was going to get a 6-foot bong, and it was going to be dope. Exactly what we did. Like our parents dropped us off. Me and 2 of my friends from Long Beach won the lottery, so we were in an apartment-style dorm on 7th Street, and it was by literally the next morning. It was fucking a raging, out of control party.
Wow.
And it was that first weekend that I was in Manhattan was Wigstock, the first Wigstock in Tompkins Square Park.
Oh, cool.
So we were just like got sucked into drag queens and.
So let me ask you a question. To get into art school here, do you have to have certain level of like scores as well as a portfolio, or is it all based on your portfolio?
For me, yeah, you had to have all that.
You had to have all that.
Yeah, you had to have like decent grades and then a solid portfolio.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the same then.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering.
And smoke lots of weed.
Yeah. All right. So you went to SVA. So when did you learn about designer toys? Tell us your toy story.
When did I start? Well, I have an old toy. Can you see that?
Oh, wow. It's a key.
Yeah.
Yay, you're in the key club.
That's Tristan, isn't it?
This, I don't know which one this is, but I've had this forever, and I found some of my old toys in the basement at my in-laws house. From like an old backpack I had that was just filled with toys. Yeah, I got into toys like early. I was always into comics and pop culture stuff. So I was at the comic book shops, you know, regularly. And
which ones?
In Vegas. So I was going to, there were I had a couple spots I liked. There was one called Cosmic Comics. Later on I worked at a comic book store called Cosmic Comics in New York City. But this one was back in Vegas, and the main one, there were a few that I liked, but the main one that really like was a big influence on me was called The Bat Cave, and it was female owned. Whoa. And the owner would like always give me like little extra freebies with my comics. And anyway, like, yeah, so I got it. I was like, you know, into toys. I just like never had any money. I was like super broke. so I would save up for toys. But let's see, what else? Like, I think in college, you know, I was like paying attention to the Kid Robot stuff. And
wait, favorite comic book?
Favorite comic? Well, back then, I loved Kabuki. Kabuki was like my shit by David Mack. I love Mobius, Frank Miller, comics. What else? I have
you work in a comic store, so you must have like. Do you still have a collection?
I do actually. My collection's in Thailand though, which just makes me very uncomfortable because
that's crazy. You moved your collection to Thailand?
It's the only thing I've brought with me everywhere I've moved.
How many pieces do you have?
I mean, I have a nice couple comic boxes, but I have them organized in such a way where I have like my super special comics versus my like, these are good. These are good.
You know what I did once, and it was such a huge mistake, is I put all of my really expensive books in one box. And I had roommates, and somebody just like walked by and just took the first book right out of that box. And it was the first appearance of the Punisher and like Spectacular Spider-Man.
Oh wow.
It's like it's an expensive book now.
Mm-hmm.
So I've learned to just try and like keep them littered interspersed through the boxes in order. But do you have everything in bags and backed? And
yeah, of course. I'm
in Thailand's humidity though now.
That's crazy that it's in the humidity.
Oh my god.
It's probably it's making me very uncomfortable. I don't even
talking about it's making you sweat. Right?
Yeah, I'm literally sweating right now.
Oh my gosh.
This is great talking to another form. I worked at a comic book store too. So when you've gone through that experience, I think you always have a certain reverence for comic books, even if you don't. I don't read them anymore. I
don't have time.
I'm kind of impatient when I try and read them now.
I have a couple up on I have a couple comics that I want to read that are like behind.
All we see is your cosmic art.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because it's messy. I haven't had time to organize my area. I'm not Zard. I don't.
No, none of us.
He showed up to put us all to shame.
Yeah, I was like, oh no, I can't let them see my space.
He's got a dope. We've all got dope backgrounds here.
We just keep this space, but if you look that side,
yeah,
just like Zard,
the gallery's exploding.
It's crazy. So you first learned of toys because of the comic route into toys?
I mean, I was always into toys, right? Like since I was a kid. And there was a $5 store. There was a $5 store in Vegas when I was really little. So there was like the swap meet. I would walk past on my way home, the swap meet, and there was a place with arcade machines. So I would, play my Street Fighter or my Mortal Kombat. And I would get, I would look at the stuff I want and I'd try to like eventually get a thing. Right. And one of the things that they had that was really cool, which I don't have on me right now, but it was the Alien watch. The Alien watch where the tail wraps around your wrist.
Oh shit. I've never even seen that.
That sounds amazing.
Oh
I
my
God. That was the Alien. It was the fucking Alien. It was the Alien.
My God.
And it was like
Dude,
a full body.
That's my grail toy.
It's like fucking epic. Just look it up. It looks like an action figure, but has a digital watch on its chest, and the tail wraps around your wrist. And it was $5, and I saved up. I had to save up money, and I bought that shit. And I was like 10 or 11, and there was a market really close by that sold comics, and I would get like my X-Men comics or whatever, and I would like, you know, and I would everything that I wanted was like kind of nearby: video games, comics, and you know, a few cool toys. But yeah, I remember that being like a big thing that I got that watch because I was like,
that's so cool.
Yeah.
Quick Google search. I am not seeing anything. It's just showing the watches that like Ripley wore in Alien.
Hang on, I think I found it. I'm just trying to do the settings.
I was able to buy it again on eBay. I was able to buy it again. I have it in Thailand.
Nice. So when did you? So you got into toys.
Yeah.
And obviously, you're resonating with Alien, but when did you discover? What was that?
Like making toys? Yeah.
Was like the key one of the first ones that you bought that was like a designer toy?
Oh, so the key probably some Kid Robot stuff and toy. After college I lived in the East Village, so I was living really close to Toy Tokyo.
Yeah.
And I would go to Toy Tokyo. Like I would go there and I would buy stuff. So
what made you aware of designer toys? Like how did they come into your life?
It's so weird because like I can't even pinpoint like the Alien watch isn't a designer toy, right? But it like action figures. My first action figure was She-Ra.
Yeah.
Masters of the Universe, the original collection.
So I mean, you're bonded with like a plastic fetish as a child.
Since I was a child. That's why it's not like that's why I can't really like pinpoint like the designer toys kind of like I remember I understood the stylish thing like where it was kind of fashiony like yes that's it.
Oh
my god.
I'm trying to see if I can. You can click that button and it'll make it full screen.
Amazing. Still in package.
Oh, I've got some kind of Google Lens thing happening. What does that do?
I don't know.
Let's get out of that.
It's going to teach us
Visit
something.
it. Let's see. This is going to go to it. Oh, it's a listing. $24. Here you go. We can all have one.
Awesome.
Yeah. That is not from 1986. That's from probably 90s.
Yeah, this is 90. Oh, I don't know.
It's that's what it was like that. Someone wrote 1993 on the.
Okay. So this isn't the original. You bought the original one.
I think the original was in the 90s. Yeah.
So this may be the original one?
Yeah, I think that is it. That is it for sure. They just wrote the wrong year.
Not 1986. You're saying?
Yeah, vintage from 1990s, and then like
it says vintage from the 90s.
Got it.
Yeah, because that whole toy line came out in the 90s. They had like the Aliens toys, and they were like not very posable, but like.
Well, one of my earliest memories.
Wait. So that figure sits on your wrist, and then the tail wraps around the back to hold it on.
Yeah.
And I would wear that to school.
That's amazing. That's so cool.
That's really fucking cool.
That's amazing.
I remember I would go to this kid's house who lived next door to me. Not next door. He was next door to my cousin, and he had like very wealthy parents. So like he had this toy room, and in that toy room he had like the 1979 Kenner alien figure.
Wow.
And I just remember just being like, this is the fucking coolest thing I've ever seen. And I could have almost bought one in an antique store like 20 years ago. And I was kind of like, I didn't buy it. And now I'm just like, always, every time my birthday comes around, Miranda's like, what do you want for your birthday? I'm just sitting and like looking up like if anybody's trying to sell like a 1979 Kenner alien figure.
They're so expensive.
And they're all, anything that you can get at a reasonable price is busted.
Yeah.
It's like missing parts and shit.
It's going to come to you. I can feel it. The universe is going to make it happen.
The Super 7 ones.
Yeah. I harangued Super 7 like 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah. And they got me like their big recreation figures, which are really similar. Yeah. And really cool. But there's just something so gnarly about the like rubbery plastic of the 79 Kenner figure. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
I hope you do.
So you're in the East Village and you're living near Toy Tokyo.
Yes. So
you're going there.
Are
you collecting or are you just browsing, getting inspired?
I had like some.
When you're at SVA?
Oh, this is after. So after SVA, I moved to the East Village. I had saved up some money. I had been working, enough jobs that I could save up some money, and I moved into the East Village.
We're in the East Village. We can get specific. We know where.
Across the street from Hell's Angels, actually.
Oh shit!
That spot.
On the south side.
Right between 2nd and 3rd Ave. Or was it 1st and 2nd?
Yeah, it's
on 3rd Street.
3rd Street. There was that's where we used to buy our hash brownies. Do you know the spot I'm talking about? It was like downstairs, and you go and buy a can.
I didn't buy hash from the Hells Angels.
No, not from the Hells Angels, but across the street from the Hells Angels.
Okay.
There was this basement shop that sold candles. But if you knew the secret, you would go in and you'd pick up a candle and you'd go in the back and you'd knock on it was a one-way mirror, and you'd knock on it and a drawer would come out and you'd put your money in and they'd slide you out a hash brownie and then you'd walk out with your candle because it was super fucking illegal.
Yeah.
So you had to like walk out with something. So you were like, for all intents and purposes, buying a candle. And then we'd go and eat the brownies at the dorms at NYU. But it was right where you were living. This is probably before you were living there.
You know, we should have the Mike Ultra run because wasn't his dad the Hells Angel or something? The crazy story he told us. Like, it's wild.
But that was really safe living across from Hells Angels.
Very safe. They actually saved me once from like a creepy guy who was following me home.
Yeah.
I bet.
Whoa.
Yep.
Yeah.
What did they do?
Like they're not like friendly. Like they don't smile. They don't like chit chat. But they noticed me. They knew I lived across the street. So you know, they would see me come and go all the time. And then one night I was heading home kind of late, and this dude had followed me all the way from like 14th Street. And and I was like zigzagging. I went into a deli. He came into the deli. I came out of the deli. Yeah, I was trying to lose him. He was not having it. He was really, really like looking for like, so I don't know what he wanted, but it was scary. And I got to be close to my home. Obviously, I picked up the pace at that point because my only like thing I could think of was at that point to just go straight to them. And then because they're always there's always some huge dude standing outside. Yeah. And I just got to him real quick. I was like, listen, this guy's been following me for like, 10 blocks. He's like coming right around this corner and I've been trying to lose him. And he's like, it's really scary. And the guy, like, it was crazy. He was so intimidating. Like he shut it down. He didn't say anything to me. He just saw the guy and he walked up to the guy and he was like, I don't want to get crazy, but you
can get crazy.
Yeah, get crazy.
Get crazy. You can tell us a story.
He just scared the shit out of the guy. He scared the shit out of the guy, and the guy was just like, "Oh, like I'm sorry." Like he looked like he was gonna pee his pants, and then he like ran off.
What part of the story did you just not tell us? What did you just omit?
It was. Let's just say, like, I don't think that guy will ever. Maybe he will never stalk someone again, or he'll definitely never fucking come near that neighborhood. I don't know.
Well,
it was crazy.
Did the world a favor, that Hells Angel.
Yeah.
Crazy. Cool. So do you remember the first time you went to Toy Tokyo?
I think, I mean, I do remember a bit. I remember thinking it was amazing.
Yeah. That was the one that was above the Chinese restaurant, right?
Back then, yeah.
Was it a Chinese restaurant?
Was it? I think so. Was it?
Or was it the French fry place?
No, it was
the frites. Home frites was there.
No. Yeah, no, but that wasn't underneath Toy Tokyo, was it?
It wasn't. It was nearby though.
It was nearby. Yeah.
I mean, I had very formative experiences at Love Saves the Day.
Yes, Love Saves the Day was
on that corner. It was like
a little on the corner. Yeah,
it was on the corner by the original Toy Tokyo, and that was like kind of like a vintage / costume / novelty shop.
They had all the old little My Little Ponies.
They had lots of toys, right?
Right. Yeah, they had all those like really. They had like a very extensive My Little Pony collection.
I think I was on too many drugs to be paying attention to the toys at that point.
I said that fry spot was good. It was.
And then they moved after the whole thing burned down. They moved around the corner and it just never seemed to.
That's right.
It never caught on because the buildings blew up.
Yeah,
the whole corner blew up.
I used to play bingo, like at this little spot right over there too. And I remember one time I like
at the church across the street.
No, it was like it was on the same side of the street. It was on one of the corners. It was a little bit later. It was like a newer spot, and they had bingo nights. And I I played bingo with, like, not with, because they were with their own group, but we were all playing the same game of bingo. Lars and Pink.
Oh.
And they were there multiple weekends. So like I'd come in and I would ride my bike there, and I'd have like my chain lock.
Yeah.
And I'd come in and they'd be like getting ready for bingo, and I'd be like, oh my God, they're playing again. That's awesome.
Right. About what year are we at right now?
Oh God. This is like early 2000s.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know what year exactly.
So when did you become Mumbot?
So 2010, I think I started using Mumbot.
Where did it come from?
So like I give a couple different explanations, but so like one explanation is like, because I'm a mom, I became a mom, and I'm also like a workaholic, like a robot. But also I really liked the combination of like something super primitive with something like technologically advanced, like futuristic, you know, because and then also I like robots and stuff, and I like being a mom.
Yeah. That's the first time I've ever put together that it's a mom bot. I'm so stupid.
I never thought about it.
I never thought about it either.
I thought
It
you were going to
always
say
occurred
something
to
about the
me-
word mumble or
Yeah.
something, or I don't know, like.
It always occurred
Never-
to me as much more like based in nature than robots and mums. I don't know. That's so
Mhm.
funny. That's so funny.
So
So there you go.
you were a mom in 2010.
I was earlier. Yeah, I had my son pretty early, so I was like young. I was maybe early 20s, and he was born in 2005. So that at that point, you know, I was like focused on being a mom. I barely had time to do art, or definitely not animation. And I had like there was no solid like career experience yet. So I had been doing all this different freelancing. I was like all over the place. I was working at a comic book store. I was a stylist assistant. I was like doing all these different side jobs. I was working on some films. I got some work doing like really weird random stuff. Like cool job that I had was like teaching some actors and actresses how to play a video game. And that was like one of the coolest jobs I ever had. Yeah. They gave me an Alienware laptop, and I had to like learn how to play this video game and then teach Bailing. Do you know her?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like she's pretty cool. Anyway,
How did you get that job? Yeah. How?
Yeah.
I just
How does one get that kind of job?
because I had a friend who like I was like inviting him to do some cool stuff, and like we went to like a video game convention thing that I invited him to, and then from there then he like was like, hey, you know how to play video games. I was asked to do this job. Do you want to help me do this job? So I was like, yes.
But it's very Manhattan to get
Very
like,
Manhattan. Yeah. Like from that job, I got a job with like a film crew, and then I started working on junkets, and then like and then from that job I started doing like this audio visual work that it just like all happened like that. It was just like that.
But
and
you get sucked into a little community of people, and then they pass you around.
Yeah.
And you wind up doing all these different jobs as you go from like friend to friend to friend.
Yep.
As the job's complete. Usually
I worked on a stop motion animation studio for a little bit. I forgot about that. Earlier than this period of time that I'm at here. So that was one of my favorite things. And Mark Hamill was the producer on that show. Yeah.
Amazing.
What were you working on in stop motion?
So I was an intern, and I was like, just at first I was just an intern, and I was sculpting and
what show was it though? What show were you working on?
I think they ended up calling it The Wrong Coast, and then I think it got passed on to like a different production company later, but it was supposed to be on AMC or Bravo or something.
Okay. I was waiting for you to say Celebrity Deathmatch, but it didn't happen.
No, but I think it was along those lines of like that kind of energy. And I helped like make props, and I helped make backgrounds, and it was cool. Like anything that I thought of, they were like, yeah, go make it. and they had all the stuff that you needed. And they would literally be like, I would be like, I don't know why my pigeon doesn't look right. And they'd be like, go outside and draw some pigeons and come back and sculpt it. And that fucking worked. And I was like, this is the best job ever. And then they were like, oh, you know how to draw? They hired me to do storyboards. So then I actually said I would only take the job doing storyboards, even though that was paid and like that was the dream, if I could stay on interning, because I enjoyed the internship so much, doing the sculpting and everything as well. Yeah. So that was like the year before where I was at with, you know, and then I ended up having my son, and so then I was focused mostly on that. But I didn't stop doing art. I didn't stop painting. I didn't stop, you know, drawing. And then I would say by like 2014-ish, I started to I think my like character development and like world building was growing. I got more focused because I was doing like some art shows, and then when I was preparing work for some of the art shows that I wanted to do, or some of the craft fairs that I wanted to do, I like kind of naturally knew like I wanted to sort of build something. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah,
I know.
Yeah, like it kind of like felt like okay. And also I think having a background like with comic books and just like all the things kind of come together at some point where you're like, you realize that you're just naturally like realizing, oh, this person would be friends with this character would be friends with this character. And then you start coming up with the backstory and all of that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then when did you start bringing those characters into 3 dimensions?
So I think like my character Augustus was the first one. So I did the Augustus Shelf Ghost with Super Sculpey. And I had messed around a little with Super Sculpey beforehand, but like not really with the intention of making a toy.
Yeah.
But I was getting invited to do a few custom shows. So I think the very first custom show was first it was like I asked somebody, can I be in your show? I just reached out, like cold call. I didn't know him. And do you know Beefy and Co?
Beefy and Co, yeah.
Yeah. It was him actually. I was like, hey, I saw that you're having an art show, and it was at like WonderCon or something. I don't remember. And I was like, can I submit something? And he was like, sure. This is like 2013, I think. And it was a 2D piece. I just made an illustration with his character in it in my style, and I sent it out. And then he invited me to be in the next show, which was a custom show. He sent me the toy, and I was like, I have no idea how to do this. I've had monies and dunnies before. Like I played around with them, but I didn't like, I'd never put anything out in the world or showed it to anyone. And then the community was just so supportive. You know, Matt Obscure AKG, Matt Perez. He was one of the earliest people who was super sweet and super supportive. And like, I told him like I knew how to use Sculpey, and I told him like I knew how to do this or that. But then I was like, how do I do it on vinyl? I was like, I know I don't want to like melt the vinyl.
Put it in the oven.
Yeah. So he actually gave me like he's like one of the first people who ever gave me like really simple basic tips on making some custom toys. And then Missy M Toys, she came out with her first toy. Was like, she was in that show with the Beefy show. And so you know how friends become kind of form online from like those shows.
Yeah.
So she actually randomly invited me to be in her little resin Buddha show at Woot Bear. And so she sent me one, and then I really went all out. I like made like this fully sculpted, like I sculpted all over that thing. I have no idea how that Sculpey has held up over these years. So
probably not that well.
Probably not.
Probably not that well now that we know more. But at the time, I didn't know. You know.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. So that was like, that was awesome. That was like 2015, and that was the first time I think the Toy Chronicle ever wrote about me. Like I was like, holy shit, my name is on a toy blog. And I remember being so excited. and just blown away by how just supportive everybody was that was involved in all of this stuff. And it felt like next step was to like make my own toy, and I started messing around sculpting a ghostess who I'd been drawing for already like 6 or 7 years. So I sculpted one, and everyone was like, you know, everyone being like my new 20 friends that are in the toy world, like, oh, that's awesome, like you have to make this into a toy. And I tried, and I remember my Meadow was like 3, my daughter, and she was helping me like with learning how to do stuff like silicone mold making and everything. And I failed so badly, like I didn't want anybody to know, like silicone got all over the floor. It was crazy. And
that happens.
It was bad. It was so bad. It was so bad that I was ashamed, and I didn't even try again for a year. So, yeah. So I was like so embarrassed. And then the toy, you know, the sculpt was still good, and I was like, I'll try.
Can I just say one thing? Do you remember in our last house there was we had that kind of fake Persian like Oriental rug in the dining room?
Yeah.
One night I poured like half a kit of just part B silicone all over that rug. And so I spent like 2 hours in the middle of the night with paper towels, just like
trying to clean it
just
up.
like brushing the rug and just getting it back. Like it was never the same.
That's
but
awesome.
Like it was really horrifying. So you just reminded me of it.
So everybody's had the same
Everyone's
problem with silicone.
I mean,
dude, you should have just put part A on it and just fucking peeled it off.
That's true.
No. It's just in the rug. It would, you know. No, I do that all the time when I spill it on like the wood floor.
Yeah.
And Miranda will come through, she's like, you spilled all the silicone. I'm like, whatever. Like I'm just gonna fucking peel it off. I got it all over the bookcases in the back office the other week, and I was just like, whatever, just peel it off later, fine. But like, you know, you just fucking destroy shit. So anyway,
silicone.
Yeah, no. So I just tried. I gave it. Eventually, I had the courage to just give another shot. I think in 2015, I figured it out. So then I started like trying to actually make them, and I was sharing, you know, my fails and my everything, you know, on like Instagram. And previously, like I was kind of just mostly sharing like family stuff, and then also like some art, right? But then I started to share more of this kind of new thing I was doing, and it just was cool. I just felt like I was a part of like a community that felt like right. It felt like the right people. And I had done like craft fairs or this and that, but then I think you guys 5 Points Festival was like what, 2017?
That was the first one.
Yeah, so that was when I was like the first time that I saw something like that just was like, oh my god, you know, this looks like perfect. This looks like everything I like.
Yeah.
So
the first one had comic books too.
It did have comic books.
It did. It had you guys had Brian Lee O'Malley, the creator of Scott Pilgrim, on the flyer. You guys had craft beer, which I love, and you had.
We still have craft beer,
but the comics are a difficult one to pair with what we do. Like it's not the perfect fit.
The comic book crowd does not care.
The hardcore comic book crowd does not care about designer toys. Yeah. The designer toy people did not care about the hardcore comics either. It's like
I get that.
It's like a little section, but it's just not quite right.
Yeah.
Independent comics, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like the Mocha Fest crowd would be a good mix. Yeah.
But like getting people like Midtown Comics or any of those big comic people to come in and like be a part of it is like, they're like,
it's just a waste of their time.
Yeah.
Like,
Dan Slott was there. He did a signing, and he used to be a customer at the comic book store that I used to work at.
Oh, that's cool. Awesome.
And 2 seconds, we'll be back.
He like, you know, wrote like some Spider-Man.
He's like, yo, I gotta take a shit.
Sorry. Alex often goes and pees at the back when you see
it. Yeah. I totally. If I could get to the back door, I would go pee right now. But like,
there's too many boxes in the way.
I know very often Rogan will just walk away, and be like, "You guys talk."
Yeah,
I mean, on a 3-hour podcast, eventually you have to pee.
True. Kyle says that was one of his first shows too, which you know that's nice. That's interesting. So then,
you came to 5 Points.
Yeah, and then you moved to Thailand.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I did. So I did 5 Points Festival, and that was like, so that was what, 2017, and then I think 2018. I also did 5 Points Festival, and then later that year we moved to Thailand, and then I actually got into Designer Con for the first time. So then I like didn't know that was gonna happen. And so I was all the way in Thailand, and I was like, I don't want to not go to DCon. So I put, I got my shit together, and I went all the way back.
I remember seeing you at that DCon, and you were just like dazed, like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. I've just flown in. I'm like,
yeah, it was
crazy.
brutal. Yeah, it's such a bad like time difference. I don't know how some of the people who come. I know now you have to come a couple days earlier.
Right.
You have to.
And acclimatize.
Yeah. But it was so cool. And I had like at that show, I think it was this is important. So at 5 Points Festival, I was like, making some friends with like some, different people for the first time. But one of the things that I really, really wanted was the Safubi contact.
Yes.
That was like
these guys, right?
Yes. So I like was walking around like trying to get anybody's information like who might help me make a Safubi. And I got connected with Lulu Bell. And at that time, Shumi wasn't ready yet, actually. Yep, there's Shumi Mushroomy, the mushroom spirit.
I've got one of them.
Yay. So good. This is the one that you painted.
Yeah. It's a one-off. So I ended up making some contacts, and then like no one really was responding. And then when I think a year, not even a year, like 6 months later or so, I had sculpted the Shumi, and I think Luke at Lulu Bell was like, oh, this would make a perfect Safubi. And like within a couple months, I like flew my whole family out to Japan to go drop it off.
just go drop that off at the factory.
Yeah. I mean, I've always wanted to go to Japan, so it was almost like, this is the reason.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then
what did you sculpt this in when you sculpted it in Super Sculpey?
No. So that was my first time using monster clay. So I had been using Twitch. I had started using Twitch also the year before, and I was like one of the few Twitch people that I knew. She was sculpting in monster clay, and so I was like, oh, I'm gonna get some tips and then learn how to use it. And so like, there was always like monster clay laying around on like the radiators, because we were living in like this old house with these hot radiators to keep the clay warm.
Yeah.
And I've heard people like, why is there clay all over the house?
Our kids love to play in the clay. They get it out all the time.
They like it when it turns into gloop.
Yeah.
Put it in the microwave
hot gloop.
until it gets really
Rebel
hot.
will rip it up and go, look, hot gloop.
It's true.
So fun to play with.
Yeah.
So I used that. I used that monster clay, and I made the first Shumi sculpt. I mean, I actually sculpted Shumi in Model Magic as a gift for my daughter, and that one was like just for fun, for her. And she loved it so much, and literally it just amazed me just seeing how much she played with it. Like it like sparked something, and I was like, this is special. Like this, I need to make like a real one. I need to make this a toy. Like I felt it, when you just feel something like that. And then, oh my gosh, she has it. Oh my gosh.
Show us the original.
This is the original. She calls it.
Oh my gosh.
OS, original Shumi.
Oh,
look at that.
So good.
That's amazing.
You have no idea what this toy has been through. It was left in a taxi in Thailand, and we got it back.
Wow.
And like it's been through so much. Nice. It's broken. It was broken once. Cool. We had to glue it back together.
That's so special. So then you moved to Thailand, and how was Thailand? How was the experience of
amazing?
Why did you move to Thailand?
So we actually moved to Thailand. I had been so my husband left to go take a job with this entrepreneur slash entertainer. He's like a well-known hip-hop artist who also owns like some businesses and barbershops and stuff. And he was working with him and kind of like wearing a lot of different hats out there. And he was out there for 8 months. And I think at some point, like he had come back to visit a couple times, but it was like we needed to decide like if we're going to actually just fully move out there or what's happening. So, so then we kind of like went for it. Let's just like fully like, and we have, we're both collector types. So we had like a lot of stuff. We sold like half of what we own and we still had a lot of shit. So we had to still ship a lot of stuff with us. So
you moved the whole family, you moved the kids, you put the kids in the pool, you moved your stuff, you moved your whole life to Thailand. You didn't think to yourself like
maybe we should leave some of our stuff here in the US.
We did.
We did.
Like,
okay.
Yeah. That's how I found this in the basement. Like
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah.
That was in
a moved your whole life to Thailand. You were like, that's it.
Yeah, so we did it. And the difference between how we did it and how a lot of, I'd say traditionally, when you know someone who's like a grown adult and they have a family and they move out to another country, there's like handlers, it's usually with like the UN or the US Embassy or whatever, whatever. Then they have handlers and transitioning people and, things are done for you. And we didn't have that. We were like jumping into the deep end of a pool, kind of like just, having to learn everything ourselves, but in a good way, because we had like a really interesting connection to like a cool network of artists and creative people. And it was quite an international group as well of friends that we were, working with. So yeah, I just kind of like went for, I think I had at the DesignerCon 2018, I had some of those Safubis already with me. That was my very first release. It was my prototype release. And I brought all the shumis and I just started handing them out to all the people I met. And I gave one to Ghost Fox Toys and they gave me something. I remember they gave me a toy also to customize. And I had given some out to like a few different people who I had, been meeting at all the different conventions and decided to do a show for Shumi Mashroomy in Thailand. So I did one in February of 2019 called the Shumi Show. Yeah. And we had like Clav, Quicks, Ghost Fox Toys that was their first custom. And it was
custom. Wow.
Epic. And it lit up. It was like it had housing for the Shumi. It was like really epic. And
I mean, it was supposed to be in that one. I got the piece though. I still got the blank.
Yeah.
I didn't do it, man. I'm sorry.
You were on the flyer. Cece, I think you were actually on the flyer too for that.
You're not the only person that's done that, Cece. Don't worry. Happens all the time.
I love him. He's great. He's in my little workspace, so I'm sorry. I stole him.
She's like, this is too good to customize.
I'm keeping it.
I love it.
You found like a community out there. You found your people.
I would say that experience, yes, everyone was super friendly and amazing, but also it was like a mix, right? Because there was also the factor of like, you have to pay your dues, I feel like, wherever you go. Sure. And there is a whole other side of it, like where, you have to, I don't know, like not only pay your dues, but like add value wherever you go. Like I felt like it took a lot of me trying to do things and incorporating and inviting people to do things and trying to like provide ways to help, just like create some kind of, I don't know how to word it, but like, just adding some value and helping contribute to culture in a positive way. I could tell I needed to do that for a while because like I was like seeing shows, I was going and I was supporting and I was collecting and I was like inviting people into stuff that I was doing, but I definitely didn't get invited to do as much stuff until later. Like it took like a solid 2 years, I want to say, before I started to get invited to stuff. So
Did you
So
need
that's
to speak the
interesting.
language?
Yeah, I was going to say, was there a language barrier, do you think?
It wasn't that. It
No.
wasn't that. It was, I think it has to do with like, you know, I kind of understand because when I lived in Vegas, it's a tourist town.
Yeah.
And I think there's something about people coming in, extracting, and then leaving.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, and I get that. And after being in, living in Thailand for long enough, I kind of saw it firsthand. And I saw like people come in and like foreigners come in so I get it. I understood like I understood why, you know, you're protective. Like you kind of like want to make sure like someone's not just coming in and taking advantage and then leaving. Or,
Yeah.
you know, just coming in to get like some spotlight on themselves. Like, hey, look how cool I am. I had a show in Thailand, and then just leaving and not reciprocating once you've left. You know what I mean? So yeah. So I mean, I made really good friends though, and more importantly, I learned how much I needed to get my shit together in terms of like the brand aspect. Like the artists really knew their brand. They knew their shtick. Like they were like, I do this. This is my main character, and they knew like people just knew how to like format their posts and knew how to like do timed sales and how to promote it and how to like take pictures of their toys and like the simplest things, just like all of these things that make complete sense now. At the time, I realized like, oh, I was so like relaxed, like, oh, like, you know, I'm an artist and like, you know, that's fine. That's fine too. If that's like, if you're just doing it as like your side thing that you do for fun, but like, you know, I was actually interested in whipping myself into shape more. So,
Yeah.
so I was super inspired. That's the main thing. I just saw, also, I saw how, you know, people really just like were grinding. Like people were working hard, and they were like, they didn't, and no one was saying no to stuff, anything. They were like saying yes to anything. Like they were down with whatever, like everything. Like I said, like anything I invited anybody to, they're like, yes. And like they were busy. They're people who were very busy and like popular artists, you know? So it just made me like become very like, it wasn't just them, like the client that like my husband was working with, he worked nonstop, and he was like just such a like, I don't know how to explain it. Like he was like a machine. Like the dude, you'd think like, because I don't know, he's like quite famous there, and like you think, you know, you people make assumptions, they get confused. Like he didn't take breaks. He didn't take, even his breaks were part of his work.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, totally.
Everything was productive, literally. If he was out, it was like night. It was night, like at the club. He wasn't like hanging out at the club just to hang out at the club. He was having a meeting, like
right. People think we're crazy because we work like that. Like we're always on a grind, and like we're like, oh, this is a great idea. Let's do that now, and like add more and more things to our lives, which is so stressful. But it is. It's like you got to keep going and keep doing stuff and keep pushing in as many directions as you can. And I think what you just said about saying yes to things is pretty important. An artist asked me the other day, like, how can I get more out there? It's like, well, just say yes to more things. Say yes to every show you're invited to. And because every show that you're in, you're going to be seen by a different audience or a different group of people. And that's important. So,
have you thought about inventing the dad bot?
Oh, hilarious. That's actually what we call my husband. We call him Dadbot. He bootlegs Mumbot, and he calls it
Dadbot.
That's awesome.
That's fucking awesome.
There's a bunch of bootleg characters of my characters.
Can I just throw it out there now that I think this is going to become a 2-part episode?
You think so? Because because we haven't even got to like
we're just literally
NFTs and like
I mean, because we've had, you know, we know each other and we've spoken many times, so this is amazing. But I want to get to the next part of the conversation. But it's like,
almost
I'm a dad bot. I'm not the dad bot. I'm a dad bot.
Got
in
you.
the dad bot army. But so, and also we haven't done toy pizza. Our Toy tank. Oh my god,
you merged them.
my brain fell out my ass. I did merge two things because there is a toy pizza. What's up, Jesse?
Yeah, there is.
Should we maybe invite Mumbot?
Can you come back and do part 2 at some point?
Yeah,
We
sure.
can talk about, because like there's a whole.
Because there's another like hour and a half.
Yeah, I think we could talk about what you've done since you moved back to the States and since like Thailand. That's like a whole another hour and a half.
It's been like the wildest year of my life. Let's just put it that way. And then
like we haven't even gotten to like the meat of it.
You've done so much and become so prolific in your space. It's just amazing.
Just think about the callbacks that we could do in like a second episode. We're like, oh, we got to go watch the last episode.
That's true. That's true.
What do you think, Cezard?
I think that's a great idea because I mean, it is another life that you've had after.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a whole episode, man. So
yeah. Can I just say, Cezard, that
Cezard have to talk about our campfire experience.
And I don't want to reduce that experience into like a 10-minute slot because there's so much.
I don't even feel like we're doing Thailand justice.
No,
I've got questions. And then when you were at the gallery the other night.
Thailand's a good segue. We can we just kind of entered Thailand.
Realize that I was the one on the phone with you when you threw the shoe.
Oh yeah, we just figured that out.
Right.
Oh, God.
So that's when we were starting to talk about this guy and like stuff. There's still so much to talk about, and we've already been on for like hours tonight.
And I want to talk to you about being a female artist too, and how that influences what you do, and how
doesn't
influence what you do. We have a lot of discussions around here with female artists and about the term female artist. Like, why does there need to be a term female artist? You know what I mean? Like, there's a whole other experience to talk about there.
If anything, more than I didn't realize it before because I didn't think it played as much of a part. But now that I've gotten older and I have a daughter, right, and a son, right, but like I feel like yeah, I have 2 kids. No, but like also just like the representation for anybody who might, I think who's like anybody who's aspiring, even if you're like older than me, I guess, like anybody, any age, you know what I mean? Like who might, you don't even have to be a young girl. Like I said, like it could be a boy, it could be whatever you are. And you could just maybe somehow relate to me. And so I don't know, who knows? Maybe you come from, like you're just like kind of weird too. Or like maybe you come from, also like an underprivileged background and you're wondering, how do I get to this place, where this person's at? And just, all of these reasons, I've started to understand why maybe like, it comes into play, like, the representation, the being Asian American, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's like all these different things. So
there is a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot to unpack there.
What are you doing next Thursday?
I think I'll be at Designer Con.
Next week. All right. Well, we'll schedule for the future.
Yeah.
Cool.
We'll figure it out. But this is good.
Yeah. Don't go anywhere.
Sooner rather than later, like in the next month.
Yeah, we can do the following Thursday. Let's do it the following Thursday.
Is that Basil though? Is that out Basil?
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh God.
So it might have to be, and then it's Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah.
That's like.
But maybe we can do it. Maybe we can do it not on a Thursday. We can do it not on a Thursday. We can do it earlier the week after Econ.
Yeah,
that sounds good.
And pick it back up.
Absolutely, because we need to just talk about your general experiences.
Yeah.
From the next, from that point forward.
Totally.
Especially about NFTs, because you were the one that was like, you have to get to listen to me about this. And we were like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And we were like, no.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's true.
It is true.
That all happened. That's true. Yeah. So we're going to put you on the side with us.
And then Alex is going to sing his theme tune.
Right. We're going to Toy Tank segment.
Nice.
And we're going to discuss.
And we're going to bring on Plastic Pizza.
Yes.
And discuss what they have that's new.
So thank you. Don't go
anywhere. Stick on the side.
Stick on the side with us.
Here's Alex.
Right, I guess I got to throw up the graphic real quick because we're doing the Toy Tank. Boom, right there. And then let's go with the Toy Tank. Take me to the Toy Tank and show me your fucking toys. All right, yo, we're bringing on the plastic pizza. Boom, right there. I think before 5 points, I wasn't quite aware of plastic pizza. After 5 points, I know so much about plastic pizza. And like,
Oh
yo,
my God.
so much
Oh
on
my
my
God.
fucking radar now. It's not even funny. Everywhere I look, everybody's like, yo, plastic pizza. So without further ado, let's bring him into the main fucking stage. Boom, plastic pizza.
There you go. Hello. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. I'm literally, I feel like I've died and gone to heaven because I'm in one of the coolest places with some of the coolest people in the entire galaxy hanging out with you on Clutter Live. This is insane. And thank you for having us.
Yeah,
Oh,
thank you. Thank you.
We love your energy. You have some awesome things behind you. You have a beautiful hat on. You look awesome. You brought the pizza with you.
Yes.
Where are you today? Are you in Florida?
I am. So we actually had a hurricane.
Yes,
make landfall today.
Oh my gosh. So did it make landfall where you are?
So no, we're on the bay side. So we're the west side.
Okay.
So on the west side, we did have a lot of rain. We had a lot of terrible weather. But nothing could stop us from being here today. And unless we lost our electricity, thank God we didn't lose our electricity.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I heard it's gonna hit Florida and then come up the coast, and that's what we're gonna have the weekend. Is the remnants.
I'm loving the pizza in the chat.
Yeah, pizza. Throw the pizza in the chat. This is awesome.
Can I have some sugar?
Sure.
As long as
I don't have pizza, but I have candy from Halloween.
I'm going.
All right, so tell us a little bit before you show us what you have.
Thank you.
Tell us about yourself. Tell us about your background, and tell us about plastic pizza.
So, what I'll start with is I'll give you the shtick I give when somebody walks up to our booth. So I will scream at them. I'll say, "Greetings, Earth-dwelling inhabitant. Welcome to Plastic Pizza. Our main character is Piece the Pizza. He comes in piece and in pieces. We're totally cheesy and we accept it. We work with graffiti artists and toy artists and street artists and illustrators and awesome, crazy people from all over your Western spiral galaxy to create awesome content for Plastic Pizza. Once I have a brain aneurysm and fall down and I wake back up, I tell everybody, hi, my name's Jordan. My wife, Sarah, and I have been working on the pizza project for over a year. And for us, this is a huge passion project because everything that we love, we've put into this project, and all the cool people that we've grown with over the last year have been a part of the project. A lot of people that you guys are all familiar with, Mr. Mento, King Gonga, all these amazing artists have all been people that we've met and have built with and have helped create some of the coolest content I could ever dream of making. I think I was spending way too much money on collecting that I decided that why don't we make our own art? My wife and I love art so much, and we love collecting and buying, and it just got to a place where I couldn't fit any more things into our house. My in-laws, who I don't know if they're currently watching, they joke that we should charge people to come into our house as a museum because there were so many things in our house. And so it gets to a point where I've given Clutter a lot of money, and I've given Johnny Cupcakes a lot of money, and I've given Cause a lot of, I've given all these artists a lot of money, and I love supporting art. And for us, it was, well, why don't we take this energy and this momentum and this love and this passion and create something unique and special and different for ourselves? And that's what Plastic Pizza started as.
Nice. So where did the pizza come from? Are you a huge pizza fan? Is your wife a huge pizza fan? Like, where's the pizza?
So I have an addiction. Some people it's sex, some people it's drugs. I love pizza. I had a not always the easiest childhood. We didn't always have a kitchen. So I was a very bad eater. I was a very picky eater. I remember at one time I'd only eat plain Cheerios. But something that happened was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles actually taught me to eat pizza. As corny and weird and silly as that sounds, I remember being a kid and having a hard time eating different foods. And pizza was something that was a starting point. And for me, that was exactly what we're going to do with our art. We're in one of the craziest times in human history. Everybody's fighting with each other. It's hard to find any common ground for us to build. Mm-hmm. We need peace. So we named our main character Peace. And we tried to think of some imagery and symbols that would bring people together. And what's something that brings us all together? Not only just food, but pizza. It doesn't matter what your history, your background. It tends to be pizza something that can bring us all together. So if we can agree on nothing, at least we agree on that pizza's good, and that's a good place to start.
I'm getting kind of like a Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure vibe from this.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like, the world is saved through like pizza
and toys.
Yes. So our goal that we tell people is not only to be the peddlers of interdimensional bliss here on planet Earth, but to also save the Earth. As crazy as a goal that is, I think all artists, their goal is to change the culture and the environment they are into a better place. My mom always told me that wherever you go, you make it a better place. So if you go stay somewhere, you pick up the piece of trash when you leave. You leave it at least as good as it was or better. So for us, Plastic Pizza is our way to kick in the door into an amazing, awesome community and try to find our place and find a place to grow and create opportunity for ourselves and all the awesome, cool artists that we've worked with. And shout out to Clutter for being some of the first people to ever support Plastic Pizza and having us at 5 points. I can't thank you enough for your support and your love and having us at 5 points, which I can't wait to be back at.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It was that we loved having you there. You bring so much energy and love and light, and that's just amazing. And I think that your mission is just the best.
That's awesome.
Pizza and toys, like who can go wrong? What's your favorite topping?
So the cosmic cow. So I should tell you before I mention the cosmic cows. In our universe, all the aliens are cows. That's why they abduct cows. They've come to take their family back home. They've got to save them from being turned into, pepperoni. So the cosmic cows have taught me not to eat pepperoni. If I eat pepperoni, it's going to be
pepperoni made out of beef.
Yeah.
I don't want to poke holes in your theory.
I've never thought about it.
Yes, technically, I know a lot of times it's pork, but yes, I grew up in a Jewish. A lot of times the pepperoni was beef instead of pork. But yes, mushrooms. I love mushrooms. That's why Pizza's favorite character is Mushy the Mushroom, and I also love Mumbot, who has. Am I pointing in the right there somewhere?
Yes,
mushroom power.
Yes, mushrooms. Delicious and great.
We love mushrooms, and so yes, shout out to Mumbot, amazing artist.
Yes, she is amazing.
Love you, Plastic Pizza.
I just want to say thanks. The last time I saw you, man, we were on a rooftop in Brooklyn, and you bought like 50 fucking cookies. Like, I was there. Like, I was the last man standing that night, right, with the cookies. And I think I went down at like 4 or 5 or something like that. Yeah. And we left like all the trash up there, like crazy. So when I was checking out the hotel the next day, like the guy called me back, like he wanted to talk to me, like, and I was like, what the fuck does he want? So I just I legged it, I got out of there, do you know what I mean? But thank you for the cookies, they're rad. So
and actually this year we didn't organize a Saturday night party because it was so hard just to get a festival happening in the pandemic. But you guys brought the party to the rooftop with the cookies, so we appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks for that.
We had just set up for 5 points, and we had driven from Florida to New York, and because we're glutton from punishment and everybody loves seeing us on Fridays, we had Pop Shop that night. So we went live on Pop Shop. We did a few hours on Pop Shop. After Pop Shop, we had gotten to this elevator, and this woman told us, and you all know the story. The woman told us that there's ice cream on the roof, and that supposedly there's a restaurant on the roof that sells ice cream. And if you know me, you know that I think Benjamin Franklin said beer is proof that God loves us. And I said he was very close. It was ice cream. I love ice cream. And so we were like, goodbye, everyone on Pop Shop. We'll let you know how the ice cream went. And we go upstairs, and we're not dressed nice. We're in our pajamas, sort of disheveled. We've been setting up. And we come around the corner, and we see all the cool kids. We see Miranda and Josh and the Toy Chronicle and CZ and everybody. And we're like, oh, oh God, run. And they're like, hey guys, come on over, come sit.
We're all like half asleep and just like fucking just sitting there like
they know who we
trying
are.
to
So we freaked out. We sat down, and because there was no ice cream, I felt it was only right that we order Insomniac cookies. So shout out to Insomniac Cookies for getting us all through ice creamless night.
True. And who was that woman that said there was ice cream? How dare she get our hopes up like that?
We were so excited.
Because you were like, there's ice cream. And we're like, wow.
Oh shit, we're going to Roof for ice cream.
Yes, I mean, who can say no to rooftop ice cream?
Right?
Nobody. Absolutely nobody. So tell us about the toys that you have to show us.
So I feel like I have a whole bunch of things to show you.
Right,
but I want to show you something first special. So for us, our first drop on network was Pizza for Breakfast, and we premiered that with Mr. Mento. I love doing themes. So doing Pizza for Breakfast for me was a theme that I really, really wanted to do. A concept I had come up with was this astronaut in a cereal bowl being wrapped with cosmic cow tentacles. So all the cosmic cow aliens, the cows all have tentacles. So the cow tentacles, they're all cow print, but the suction cups are all pink and like udders. So it was great because you could either do the suction cups pink like udders, or you could actually make them all udders, which then they can spray milk, all different things. So this is a piece we're working on for Pizza for Breakfast. And this is our astronaut in a cereal bowl.
Whoa.
With some pieces of pizza. And of course, the cosmic cows are helping feed him with that.
That's really cool.
That's so rad.
It's hard to show. The other, this is the one with the spoon. So here we go. The spoon has a little pizza slice.
Pizza on the spoon.
This is rad.
So what's really cool is this is a prototype. This is the first one, and this was sculpted by GDM. Shout out to GDM for helping us bring to life. Now, the art was originally done by Torquato. We reached out to Torquato, who is a graffiti artist in Brazil. We said, hey, we need an astronaut in a cereal bowl. And it was cool. So if you go to our Instagram, you'll see the original art. But to be able to bring it to life and to see it as a toy for us was a really cool experience.
That's amazing. So are you making this in resin or vinyl?
So for now, resin. I'm really excited because I believe that our Pizza for Breakfast theme has grown and become so successful that we want to expand it and make it a show. For us, plastic pizza is it's a group mind. There's not just one of us. Every time we do something, it's a collaboration. So we were very lucky enough to work with Mr. Mento for Pizza for Breakfast. But I have a whole group of people that want to participate for Pizza for Breakfast this time. So I believe GDM will be printing 5 of these. And we're going to be looking to reach out to different artists to help us customize so we can do a whole bunch of one-offs on our astronaut pizza cereal bowls.
Awesome.
That's so cool.
So yes,
I'm down. That's well cool.
Yes! Oh my goodness! It's down. You heard it here.
I'll do it. I will do it. I won't just keep it. Right?
He's lying.
Hey, that is a huge compliment. That's a good.
Criminals
just don't make it like February. I don't wake up till like March.
It's in hibernation.
No. So funny.
Huge compliment. If I get to be in the same category as Mumbot that you stole my blank, then I'll be very
nice.
Love that. That's awesome.
Do I get to show you? I don't know. I know we're very short on time. I was loving listening to Mumbot's story.
I know, us too. It's like there's so much more to talk to her about too.
So these are going to be dropping at Decon, but this was sort of a practice. These are clear P strips. So we did a drop with Kaiju Steven, and we did a bubblegum P strip. We did a metallic P strip. King Gonga customized a P strip, but this was the first time we did the P strip in a clear resin. And it's got the Kaiju Steven symbol there on the bottom.
Nice. Do you have a booth at Decon? What's the number?
So I do have a number. So when Josh was on with Mr. Mento, he's like, drop your booth number. And I was like, oh, I still don't have that yet. So our booth number is number 648.
There you go. 648. That's awesome.
Nice.
Wait, so you're going to be at Decon?
Yeah.
Yes, and the first 100 people to come to the booth will get a free mini print of our Johnny Cupcakes, because we're dropping a shirt with Johnny Cupcakes, and we printed a bunch of little mini prints. So I want, even if you can't afford a shirt from us, we want you to be able to take a little piece of art home with you for free.
That's
Awesome.
amazing. Susie's lying.
What am I lying about, son?
About doing the piece. But you're just gonna keep it.
Yeah, I've got a whole shelf of them.
Don't worry, it's easy. I'll buy you all the cookies you want in the world if you'll paint us a pizza.
All right, I'm on it. That's a deal. Yeah.
I'm not going to name the artists that have all the blanks, but there are artists out there that just take.
Yeah, they're definitely.
Let's say yes, so do the next one, and then just have another blank.
Yeah, I
And
know.
let's just have shelves of blanks.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You know who you are.
It's fine.
Yeah.
One day, paint them.
We should do a show where we call all those people.
And we like, so that piece you didn't do, send it in.
Yeah.
It's true.
The forgotten show.
Yeah.
The smorgasbord of pieces.
Yeah.
That'd be so cool.
There you go. So tell us about the pieces, the other pieces you have in the background. Those pizzas are great.
Yeah, what's really cool is we've got a whole bunch of different random things. I did not know how much time I'd have. I wanted to make sure to have all the cool things to show you. I mean, you guys are cluttered. You deserve only the best.
Dude,
we like the clutter. Bring all the clutter. We love it.
So this is our pizza delivery astronaut. This is our deadhead pizza delivery astronaut. This is again was a piece we did with GDM. Now this is an oversized. This is a huge version. We're gonna have 4-inch versions of this at DCon.
That's so cool.
What's really cool is, so my wife and I have a huge obsession with Christmas. And so GDM tried his best to give the pizza delivery guy a jacket inspired by the pizza delivery guy from the Home Alone. I thought it was so cute and so sweet of GDM to think of such a thing, to make the jacket themed as best he could. So I went back to the movie and watched it, which most people who know us know we watch it almost every night to fall asleep to. And it's very true. He did. He made the collar and everything. That's one of the pieces. You guys know Snack Rabbit, right?
Yeah.
We love Snack Rabbit. Snack Rabbit is amazing, and we've been waiting. There we go. Our pizza packets have finally arrived. And there's Chase. That's our Chase pizza packet. If you see us at DCon, come and get a Snack Rabbit pizza packet, because they're amazing.
Awesome. That's really cool.
So shout out to Snack Rabbit she's incredible.
Absolutely.
And then so if you know us, you know we like to meet artists from all over the world. One of our favorite artists in the entire world is Dr. Plops. I don't know if Dr. Plops is watching right now, but hi, Dr. Plops. We love Dr. Plops. One of the things, this is small. It's hard to show a little bit because it's small, but this is our little mini Krampus pizza slice that Dr. Plops has been working on. Now, he is an incredible sculptor. What he does for himself and for Plastic Pizza is incredible. And what he did for a Krampus pizza slice, I don't know if these will be with us at DCon, but I know they'll be with us at Creatives Con.
It's awesome.
And then, you guys know that I love the holidays. So we did the Grinch. It's very hard to see with the brightness that we did a Grinch Game Boy, because we're getting ready for everything's got to be video game themed. So we've got our Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Pizza Boy Game Boy handheld.
Cool.
And we decided to also do that's
for the DCon show?
Yes. So what's great is we will have blanks available for sale, and we also will have some custom as well.
Oh, cool. That's super rad. So again, your booth number is
648.
So I was going to say 623, but I was wrong.
648. We'll be there. We've got our Johnny Cupcakes t-shirt. What's great is one of my Grail t-shirts from Johnny is his Cause t-shirt. There's not many Johnny shirts I don't own, but there's a few Grails for me. One is his breakfast t-shirt, may be a reason why I love pizza for breakfast so much. but I don't own his Cause Big Boy t-shirt. And so when we spoke to Johnny Cupcakes and we were talking about different ideas, was if I can't get my hands on that Grail t-shirt, well, why don't we make our own Grail t-shirt? So at DCon, I'll be our own fashion model. We're going to have our Johnny Cupcakes plastic pizza t-shirt.
Nice.
Very cool.
That's right. Yeah, that's cool.
Yes.
Love it.
We're really excited about that. But Johnny's not known for toys. Somebody, though, that you guys might know who's known for toys, we're also doing a t-shirt with.
Oh, cool.
Oh, nice. That's
Yeah. Oh, so dope.
If you go down to a Bomity Mart, you're going to get a Frozen t-shirt, a plastic pizza in a wrap, just like a Frozen pizza.
That's epic.
Yeah.
Wow.
So good.
That's really cool.
Very cool.
Super
Oh my
cool.
god.
That's cool.
Great work.
Yeah. Really,
Thank
really awesome.
Yeah, really good.
Obsessed with that.
Yay.
Really
Oh my
cool.
God.
It was actually Mumbot who made me want to make sure to show all these things, because what she said was true. Those artists were huge inspirations to me that I watched come out, and they were so focused and they knew exactly what to say. They needed to hone in on key aspects of what they needed to point out to people. You get such a small amount of time in front of people. There are a whole bunch of things Cezard and Mumbot said that were amazing to listen to. So it was cool to share a show with them.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming on and
Pleasure
showing us
seeing
all
you.
your stuff.
Yeah.
Can't
So
wait
good.
to see you
Love
again.
it.
Amazing.
We'll see you
Oh,
at
wow.
5 points next year.
Yeah.
Oh, you bet. Well, I'll get. We got to make sure to have even larger space. We're really excited. We want to ball out really hard at 5 points. For us, it's an honor to be there.
Absolutely. Well, we're excited to have you back. Thank you so much for bringing all your stuff. Check them out at DCon.
Yeah, nice one, man.
Everybody.
Stay safe out there. And
I'll
yeah,
see you
good
next
luck.
time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Listening.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
So, thank you. Oh, he's not. Oh, he's not. So, let's say goodnight. Thank you, Mumbot.
Yeah,
We're going to have you back.
Yes, we're gonna figure it out.
Because normally at this point we ask you for like, what advice would you give for a new puppy? We're not going to do that
We're not gonna do
because
that.
this is like the halfway point.
We're
We
calling
haven't
intermission.
even got to the Ghost Club
Intermezzo.
and all the crazy that is. But you
Yes.
can find Plastic Pizza on Instagram at Plastic Pizza. You can find Mumbot at Mumbot. You can find Cece at Cece13 Heart. You can find Maya Tanaka at Maya Tanaka.
And
Find
there's,
us at Clutter Magazine.
and there's one other shout out I just wanted to do tonight. When we were talking to Zard earlier, I forgot to say, somebody just screamed outside the gallery. I forgot to say a big thank you to Jeremy Cove, Mass Creative, for helping hook up the Cup Noodles license for us.
Oh,
Thank you so much, brother. And
He's
that's
been
someone
coming
else that we
this
have to have on the
software.
show.
Yes.
So Jeremy's got amazing Toy Stories
Multiples.
going back into the dark mists of time,
the beginnings
the
of time.
of toy time. So we'll have to do that soon, Jeremy. If you're out there listening, we'll have you on, brother.
Should I address the comments from?
Not at all.
No?
I mean, I don't
Can,
think.
before you get serious, can I just say this episode made me really hungry?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice, that's what I'm going to get out of
Did
here.
you,
Now we're
did
going to
you
eat
see
some
me
pizza.
eating some sugar?
I need food now.
Try and open my eyes.
I know. With some,
Whew.
it's crazy.
So
right
much
now.
going on because we say yes.
Yes, we do. Too
We're
much.
yes people. All right.
All right. Well,
All right.
thank you for coming on. We're going to
Thank
get
you,
you back.
Mumbot.
We're going to schedule
Thank
you,
you,
which is
Cece.
really hard to do. So hopefully.
We'll make it happen. It's
We
crazy
do
to
it.
cut it off in the
After
middle.
decon, let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
no,
right.
it's crazy
All
to
right.
cut off in the middle, but like there's literally
There's so much to
at least
talk
another
about.
hour and a half or 2 hours of conversation to have. So
Yeah.
I don't want to hit a point where we were like lagging. So
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Thank
we have
you.
to
Thank
eat.
you, Jay.
So otherwise, we're just going to pound
cool.
down.
Everyone go eat.
Yes.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
so
everybody,
much.
in the chat. This was awesome. Come back next week. I don't know who we've got, but whoever I tell you we got will be somebody else. So
Yes.
I'm never going to do that again.
Cool.
All
All right,
right.
everybody.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
It's
Bye,
good
guys.
talking, man, bro. I love you. I'll see you soon.
Love you. You guys are awesome.
Bye.
Bye.
Alex, you know how to end this?